Fill it.
I drink your milkshake.
You are listening to the Billionaire Podcast Network.
Hello, Confederates, fellow billionaires. Thank you for joining us here at the Billionaire Podcast Network. Ka-ching, bing, 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 filler up. We're bringing to you another episode of Double D's with DDT and Dalton. On this episode, DD and I talked about the Taylor Swift controversy with the AI, smoke alarms chirping, and the Apple Goon goggles, and a smattering of other topics. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and throw this entire. I usually chop these up, chop it in half, and do one half on the main feed, the other half on the Patreon. But you know what? I'm feeling very appreciative, very grateful of the audience right now. And so I'm going to go ahead and throw the entire thing on the main feed. This is the whole big bonus stuffed crust size 2 hours is going to be available on the main feed. So please do me a solid and just go ahead and share this with everyone you know. Tell people about the channel. Let's get the numbers go. Let's get the numbers pumping. What do they say? Like and subscribe. Is that bad? Like, should I not ask people to do that? That's such a YouTube thing. Those dopey guys who are like, be sure, point. They point at the thing. They're like, see the button down there. Like they point at it like you don't know it's there. Like you're not aware of everything that's on your screen. And so they're pointing like, hey, by the way, I don't know if you saw this, the button here, and it's I don't look. I give y'all more credit than that. I think you know what buttons are on your screen that you can click. So I'm doing it now just as an example of what they do that I don't like. It's insulting. It's digital groveling. Which is my business strategy, I guess, but I try to be a little more dignified about it. However, please like and subscribe. Anyway, if you haven't watched this before, DDT is a very, very good friend of mine. I've known her for probably like close to a decade now, maybe more longer than that. And she's one of the funniest people I know. She's a real brassy broad with big fat jugs, and I love talking to her. She's very fun to talk to and very wise and hilarious. So please go find her on social media. I think her Instagram is just at DDT, and go listen to her album. Support her. And I do these. These are more sporadic than anything else. I'll just like message her and be like, "Hey, you want to record something again?" And she'll say, "Sure." And then we set something up and just sit down and let it rip, baby. And so we had a good conversation this week. She said prior to this Please keep it. Let's just try and keep it at around 2 hours because the last few we've done, I think the last one we did was about 5 hours. So this one is a good clean 2 hours. And I'm just throwing the whole thing up here, and I'm recording this preamble to let you know that this the show you're watching is Double D's with DDT and Dalton, even though the name of the show is in the episode description and the title. But I get formalities and so forth and so on and so forth and so on. The Hegelian ideology of the YouTube thumbnail and the yeah, Slavyov teaches you how to build your YouTube channel. Anyway, and please, I'm putting the whole thing up for free this week. But also please still subscribe to the Patreon, patreon.com/cornfed with Dalton Pruitt. We got a $5 tier, $10 tier, $15 tier, and then obviously the best one, the $25 tier. There's a tier above that, the $35 tier, which gets you access to a couple pictures of my weird feet, but I'm not active really on that, and I don't promote that one ever. I should get rid of that because I made it as a joke. The $25 tier, though, is where it's at. That gets you the Fraternal Order of Corn-Fed decal after 3 months. So it is effectively $75 as a sticker. I didn't structure it that way. If it were up to me, it would ship out immediately once you subscribe. But Patreon lets you do merch. Like you could do merch through Patreon, but anything you do, whether it's a sticker, a mug, a shirt, I guess they want to make sure that they're getting their nut on these products, and that I don't know like how they decided this, but they anything you do they won't send out until after 3 months of being subscribed. So if you subscribe to the $25 tier, you will get that sticker after 3 months. So it's effectively $75 for a sticker, but it lets people know you're a proud supporter of the Corn Federacy. It does make you a landed gentry of the corn fiefdom, and you could slap it on your back windshield and it might help you get out of a ticket. And there are a few people that have subscribed to that tier, and they did so about 3 months ago. And I was talking to one of them the other day, and he said, I'm waiting on the decal. I'm going to get it because part of the agreement is once you get the decal, if you shoot me a picture that you got it, then we'll have you on the show. We'll just hang out and talk to you because we're not big famous comedians. We're just guys over here. So we'll hang out with anybody. And so I was talking to a guy and he said, "Yeah, I'm like excited to come on the show and I hope I'm getting the decal soon because I subscribed about 3 months ago." And I was like, "Yeah, I hope they send that out." So I went on Patreon the other day just to like cash out my money just to because I need the money in my bank account. And so when I clicked the button, I actually got a notification that said merch is shipping out soon for the people that subscribed 3 months ago, and that I need to wait to cash out so that however the money works, so everything goes through smoothly. So, I'm sacrificing here, making sure those decals get out. I blood, sweat, and tears over here to make sure them things get to you if you got them. Um, Also with that tier, I will say here's the cherry on top. This is how we sweeten the pot with that tier. If you sign up for the $25 tier right away, you can DM me a list of your enemies, upon whom I will call for a jihad on the show. Send me a list of your enemies. They're all getting a jihad. Read aloud on the show. Jihad upon your enemies. So that's patreon.com/cornfed with Dalton Pruitt. And this show that you're about to watch or listen to, or both, I suppose if you're watching it, you're also listening to it. This is another banging, a dynamite episode of Double D's with DDT and Dalton, only on the Billionaire Podcast Network. Ka-ching, bing, 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 did fill her up? Yeah, I actually never understand that when people who do podcasting talk about preparing for one or
I mean, there is
editing.
a such thing as preparation and editing. That is a
Hmm.
real thing. You don't know that, but it's a real thing.
I'm familiar with those concepts. I know that there are people who prepare for a show and then edit it afterward, and I'm more of a what is the I take like a very
Fly by the seat of your pants, keep it
yeah, I
loose
take
and
a
goose
like a more of a Clint Eastwood approach to podcasting. Like, you know the way he directs movies,
with very squinty eyes. I don't know.
squinty eyes,
Okay.
but he doesn't do a lot of takes. It'll just be like
Okay.
maybe two takes at most for a
Hmm.
scene. So he's
Interesting.
just
Well,
yeah,
he is an older gentleman. He doesn't have much time left.
yeah, but
So
he's been directing for a long time. Like
yes,
made
he
a
has.
bunch of he's made some good movies too. Like
Mhm.
he cranks out so many that every now and then he lands on a pretty good one.
Yeah, I don't even pay attention. I don't know when the last time I saw a movie that Clint Eastwood was involved in. I cannot.
Well, the granddaddy of them all, the goat
Like Gran Turismo,
is Gran Torino.
the Gran Torino. Yeah, I've seen that one. I've definitely seen that one.
Gran Torino
Uh,
rocks.
and Squinty Eyes Abound.
Yeah, and
Definitely.
I've heard I haven't seen it, but everybody tells me I gotta see Richard Jewell. They say Richard
Never
Jewell's
even heard of
good.
it. I mean, Bridges of Madison County was pretty weird. I don't know.
Well, Richard Jewell was that guy who got fingered for the
Finger in the
fingered
butthole.
in the butthole. Yeah, no,
Okay.
I mean fingered in the criminal
Okay.
sense. Like
Yeah.
the FBI thought that he was the guy who did the Olympic bomb
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
in
I know who
Atlanta.
Richard Jewell is.
Yeah, and
Mama's boy,
it
mother's
turns
sweet
out
boy.
it turns out he was just like kind of a fat idiot who really wanted to be a
Yeah,
cop.
he was mother's special little man. He wasn't
Yeah,
a bomber.
yeah, that actor is really good. Paul Walter
Yeah.
Hauser.
Mhm.
He's
But
one
yeah,
of the
actually, did I see that? I feel like I did see that actually.
I've never seen. I've seen him in a
I think
bunch
I,
of stuff. He's very good. He's one of the top, new great character actors. Paul Walter
mm,
Hauser.
never can have enough of those,
Yeah, sort of a Philip Seymour Hoffman level
if
of
you will.
yeah.
If you
Um,
will.
yeah. What do
Without
you?
the heroin, I hope.
No, he's too fat for. I mean, Philip Seymour Hoffman was honestly kind of fat for a heroin
He was a
addict.
chubby man, at least
Yeah,
around the chin area. God
yeah.
rest his soul.
Those guys happen every now and then where you get like a fat coke and heroin addict.
Right there's your John Candy. Was John Candy on the coke,
No, I think he may be, but
or
he
was
was
he
just
an
on like
alcoholic?
cheeseburgers.
Oh, God
He
rest
was
him. What a beautiful man.
he's
Uh,
incredible.
he's like my one. Do you have like a weird one-off crush, like somebody who's not your type at all, like celebrity crushes? Like, I don't know why, but I'd fuck you. Do you have somebody like that?
I don't know. Janelle
Because John
Monae.
Candy, well, Janelle Monáe is gorgeous, but John
But
Candy
she's
is like,
black.
and a black woman would never have you. You're correct. But
does
um,
Puerto Rican count?
yes, they're part
Oh
of the
well,
diaspora.
then I've had sex with a black woman.
A blackish woman. She might have been
Mhm.
more Taino. But John Candy is like my weird one-off. I don't know why, but I fuck you. Like John Candy was always like dumb hot to me. I don't know what it was,
Right.
but he gave me something.
I mean, well, he had that very like dude quality, not just
Like
like
Uncle Buck, he was so hot in Uncle Buck to me. It was something
yeah,
very sexual about it. And the great outdoors. I would have fucked the hell out of John Candy.
yeah. Even before you get to how funny he is, he just has that like
He's
old
kind of hot.
school Midwest man quality where it's like he's fat as shit, but he's a man.
He's a
Like
man.
yeah,
He's a pretty cool guy. I don't know what it was about John Candy, but he could get it.
he's funny, and he would have gone on to do some pretty cool acting like that. His role in JFK is really interesting.
Yeah, I hate that he's one of the ones we lost. It seems like all the good ones seem to go, unfortunately. Like, why did the Lord have to take Bernie Mac? Couldn't he have taken Steve Harvey instead?
or DL
You
Hughley
know,
or any
no.
other.
Well, DL, I kind of like DL some days, and then some days I don't. We
I
go
would have
half and half on
look.
DL.
I would trade any of the other ones for Bernie Mac.
Yeah, yeah. If I had to choose, I
It
would definitely
would
pick Bernie.
Yeah, it would be like if Ron White died, I would be like, why couldn't it have
Like,
been
why couldn't it be
Ingval?
Jeff? Why couldn't it be Jeff? You
Yeah.
know, why wasn't it Jeff?
It is kind of funny that there is like a bizarro Kings of Comedy. There's like a just a white redneck Kings of Comedy, and it's the blue collar comedy tour.
I mean, it has its value and its merit. I, of course, love Ron White. I even enjoy Bill Engvall from time to time. I find him to be funny in a dad way, and I can deal with that. Jeff Foxworthy and Larry the Cable Guy just can't. But
I miss those kinds of guys though, because you don't see that
what
often.
gimmicky guys you mean?
Yeah, just
You
like
might be a redneck.
like
You miss catchphrases,
consummate performers who are consistent, maybe not necessarily geniuses,
but you miss
but
catchphrases. You miss
catchphrases. Yeah.
the
Uh,
perfunctory stand-up comedian is what you miss. The stand-up punch man.
I guess. I mean, Ron White always stood out. I loved those DVDs when I was a kid, and he was always the one where it was like, oh, he is like so far above all of these guys, like by a country
I wouldn't
mile.
say
He's
above, but he was the one that I only one that I really liked.
he was always better than them. He was
I'm
always
not
like the
gonna. I don't get into value judgments of anybody, but I did always like him a lot better.
he really stood out as like a sore thumb on that sketch show they had. He clearly
Oh, they sure
didn't.
did have
He
a
did
sketch
not want
show.
to be there.
It was a sketch. It was very short lived,
It
wasn't it? It
was
didn't
the
have.
blue collar comedy
It's,
show,
yeah,
and
it
it
was
was
very short lived.
it was those four and like Gary Anthony Williams.
Yeah, Gary Anthony Williams, my
he
guy.
was he was their like token black guy on that show. He was the
Well,
he was the
there's
Jim
always
he was the Jim Carrey of the blue collar comedy show.
Jim, Jim Carrey was not a token white guy. He was very funny, but of course they did need a white man to make fun of, so
Yes, on
he
yes.
had to be in on the joke sometimes.
But I mean he really, knocked it out of the park. A lot of
It's sometimes I felt like Jim Carrey hated white people more than anybody else. I don't know. It just felt like that. Like he just made fun of white people way better than anybody else ever could.
Yeah,
Uh,
he
which
really
is
did.
why
He did
he
really
fitted.
well on that show. Like he was like perfect for that show. Like, did you ever see the Vanilla Ice thing they did?
Of course,
It was
I've
so
seen every episode of In Living Color at least 10 times, at least, if not more than that.
yeah.
Uh,
I got the DVDs a lot as a kid at Blockbuster. We had that Blockbuster pre Netflix where it was like,
well, they used to show it on FX, like they had reruns of it on FX for years.
yeah. Would you remember Blockbuster had a subscription service before Netflix where
Well, yeah, it was right before they closed, wasn't it? It was right before they went
yeah.
out of business. They started the subscription service.
So you would pay like a monthly fee and then just go
Mhm.
check. You could like check something out and then like bring it back the same day and just get something else.
Yeah,
And so I
but yeah,
remember
that was very short.
getting in living color DVDs a lot.
Yeah, I just used to watching in syndication almost every night on FX. Every single night I was watching it because it
Yeah.
was the last thing that was on FX because there was a time where TV used to go off. And so
hmm
back in those days where
TV
broadcasting
used
was done,
to, yeah, back in like the 70s, it would literally just go away.
not the
They would
this
play
was
the
the late
national, they
this
would
was
play
the
the
'90s.
I know, but like the
Yeah,
evolution was they would play the national anthem and then
right.
the TV was off. No more
And
TV.
on FX they used to whistle it. I remember
Yeah. And
they would
then
whistle the national anthem and then paid programming would start.
that yes, that was when we were kids. It wouldn't just be like the picture of the Indian or whatever.
Right. It was just
It
like go to
would
sleep.
yeah,
It feel like go to bed, read a book, bitch.
TV shows were over for the night, and then it was infomercials. It
Yeah.
was just hours and hours of cookware and
Right.
you know
Every man a vegetable chopper and salad drainer and some man of weight loss supplement and thigh
hmm
master, whatever the fuck.
yeah.
So you had no choice but to go to sleep or
I
be
used to
entertained by paid programming, which I found very entertaining.
I used to try and find the ones you could like jack off to, like the Adam and Eve infomercials or the sex toy ones. There was like some
And how
channels.
would one jack off to this,
I
Dalton?
guess
How
just
would one
like
jack off to
it
this?
was it was very suggestive. It would just be like two women in their like 40s and 50s talking about the jackrabbit very suggestively, and so just in my mind's eye, imagining two menopausal women masturbating with a vibrator.
You had a very vivid imagination as a child, Dalton.
Yeah, this was like before we had high speed internet, so it was that, and then
I
there
mean,
was
you didn't have the Cinemaxes and the HBOs.
free weekend here and there, you know.
Oh, well, because we had like the softcore porn on Cinemax and HBO, like the Real Sex and Shock Video and
No, we didn't have that. It
Softly
was
from Paris and Emmanuel.
I would watch like the sex toy infomercials, and then I think Comedy Central would even do like these like 2 or 3 hour blocks of like girls going wild infomercials.
Oh, they sure did. And I
Yeah.
was not definitely not a fan of those. There was also the USA Up All Night. Like USA Up All Night used to have some very racy softcore porn films.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
remember that
And I used to
back in the day.
I used to watch like yeah, I would have the TV set to the with like direct TV like those cable packages.
Yeah, you get the jump. You can have the
You'd
jump
have the
button
return button, so it's like I'm actually
and
watching Nickelodeon in case it.
Nickelodeon, right? I'm watching Nick at Night. Dick Van
Yeah,
Dyke
yeah, I'm
is
watching
on.
Roseanne. I'm watching Roseanne.
I'm not watching Real Sex 14. Why would I do
Yeah,
that?
so I'd
I'm
be
not watching
watching.
Taxi Cab Confessions.
Yeah, I'd be watching like a Girls Gone Wild infomercial, trying to fill up like the like jackometer in my mind, so that I had enough to work with that I could run to the bathroom and jack off.
What me and my sister would do when we were watching like HBO and Cinemax late at night, we would we would do preliminary tests to see how quick we were on the trigger. And I'd be like, all right, set it on, set it to Nickelodeon, and I'm gonna come back in the room and I'm not gonna tell you when, I'm gonna just come back in. You gotta hit it as soon as I turn it. Just it make sure it don't look like you did nothing.
You're running drills. You're running.
We ran drills. Do you hear
Yeah.
me? We were serious with it. Just
You're developing contingency plans in case your parents walk in.
like that's what happens when you have a sibling that you're cool with. You can be a united front against your parents.
Yep. I never had that, but whatever. I had
Mm.
PlayStation.
There
Um,
you go. Better
yeah.
than a sibling, some might say.
I remember one time we had because like every now and then DirecTV would do the free weekend where it would be like either HBO, Cinemax, Showtime,
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
And I do remember one night just watching the AVN awards
Oh God.
and just trying to figure out a way to jack off to this to be like, well, it's an award show, so there's
Oh,
not
you
a
know what
lot.
I used to do? So back in the days of cable, like in the 90s, they would have, you would have cable channels that were activated, but the ones that weren't purchased would just be squiggly, but you could still hear it and
Hmm.
kind of see it. And we had in Playboy TV and the Spice Channel, they were squiggly. So I would watch the squiggly ones, and sometimes it would like straighten
Yeah,
up to where you could see what they were doing, but you could still hear everything. So that's what I would watch. I would watch the Spice Channel, the squiggly,
yeah,
the squiggly lines.
hell yeah, yeah. I remember seeing that at other people's houses who had
Yeah.
that kind of set up. I do remember, the early days of like computers and the internet, at least in our house. Like the first time I had access
What
to
a terrifying and exhilarating time to be alive.
it was awesome.
It was
It,
great.
it really felt like I felt like
It was
Magellan.
great.
Like it felt like we
You,
were
we really were doing stuff. We
yeah,
were
we were
getting into
like
some shit.
pioneers, Lewis
We
and
were getting
Clark.
into some shit.
Because I remember the first time I had access to a computer alone in a room.
Oh God.
And I just remember sitting at the
uh,
computer and like dialing up. So it was like a 24K modem or whatever.
mm,
We had was somewhat People PC, one of those like CDs they mail you
yeah.
like an actual CD. And I remember like sitting down and just going to Google and typing in boobs and just waiting for it to load. Like here we go, dude.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
No, but I remember it was me and my cousins. We were all just gathered around the computer screen, and we encountered for the first time the most terrifying thing in the world, a pop-up ad. But it was like the
Mm.
giant. Remember when the giant pop-up ads would take up the whole screen,
Oh yeah, they would. It would
and you
scare the
couldn't
shit
figure
out of
out
you
how to
because you'd
get
be
out
like,
of it.
"I'm gonna get
You
my
could,
ass beat. I just tore up the damn family computer." I was,
and we were scrambling around the room, just like it was just because it was like a big pop-up ad for like a porn site.
oh
And it
yeah,
just took over the whole screen. It was just a big naked blonde white woman with big titties, just like,
yeah,
we lost our fucking minds. We thought
yeah.
this is it. This is how we die.
I couldn't
This is how it
imagine.
is.
I couldn't
We lost it.
imagine like being that age now. Like
Oh
imagine,
no, no.
yeah, because I got the tail end of it. Like it was like my senior year of high school when porn started to become more ubiquitous. When it was just
Hmm.
like we were all getting access to it.
Yeah, Pornhub came out by the time I was in college, maybe like one of my early. Because Pornhub came out what, like early 2000s?
I don't know. Those porn sites have been around a lot longer than you realize, but I think getting access to them took a while for a lot of the country because I mean, where I grew up, it was so limited because like a lot of the internet companies didn't really service where I lived.
Oh,
So
okay. Yeah, you were out in the sticks.
yeah, so we were very limited to what we were able to
So what you had?
do.
HughesNet? What the fuck you had? Like
We
you.
had, I mean, for the longest time, it was just dial up, and then eventually we got some sort of like DSL broad. I can't even remember what company it was, but eventually we had something that was like worked, where it was like, okay, I can watch, like, I could finally look up The Girls Gone Wild uncensored.
Right, and I don't have to wait for it to buffer for 3 hours. And
Yeah,
because that
uh,
was our early days, we were on dial up too, of course, before broadband even existed, and it was just the dial up, and it's like oh,
yeah,
I'm gonna sit here. I'm up late. The parents asleep. I got 3 hours.
yeah. It's
To
yeah.
get it in.
Now I'm like, I'm shown porn against my will now. Like
Yeah, all the time.
just being on Twitter, especially like the way I've curated my feed, doing what I do with the titty videos.
Absolutely.
I've attracted the
You've attracted more
attention.
titties.
Yeah, I've attracted more titties to me, like moths to a flame. I'm the titty flame,
And that's what they
and
call manifestation. You have to manifest the titty.
yeah. So I'll just be scrolling, and I'm just like hit with titty after titty, bare breast a lot of the time, and I'm like, man, I don't really want to be horny right now. I'm trying to
Well,
work.
that is the only thing I miss about Twitter now, X. Because I deleted the app as soon as the icon changed to an X. I was like, yeah, I'm out of here. And I deactivated. But then after, a couple of weeks, I realized I was like, oh wait, that's where all the good porn was on Twitter.
There is some good
That's
porn there.
that's where damn. God damn. I gotta
I had a fucking terrifying week with Twitter this week because I got my shit got suspended.
you got suspended? Is it for your titty blisters?
No, that was not an issue. It was when the people were getting upset about those Taylor Swift AI pictures that were going around. Um,
There were Taylor Swift AI. See, I don't be on white people's Twitter. I don't know what
so
y'all be doing over there.
from what I understand, I don't know like, the exact origins, but it seemed to have gotten pinned on this one account, Zubair, ZV Bear, and he's some like Somali immigrant living in Canada, and he just does horny posting 24/7. Like
Interesting.
he's this black guy who has like a white girl fetish, and he just posts like pictures and videos of white girls with big tits, and he's like, "Milkman, how we feel about this one?" And he has like 80,000 followers. And so
Okay.
he started
Well, it
sharing
sounds like he
these.
does what you do.
It's
Less eloquently.
yeah, it's very crass. It's
Yeah,
crude,
very, very
very
less eloquent version.
rudimentary.
A very
You
low
know,
brow.
yeah, low. It's a low brow. Look, I'm the Marx Brothers. He's Three Stooges
Right.
of
Gotcha.
titties. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Feel you.
And I get, we both have our serve our purpose. We both have our place in the titty space.
Right.
Um,
Gotcha.
but these pictures start going around. These like very detailed, high res, graphic art digitally rendered by artificial intelligence. These sort of like uh very detailed caricatures of Taylor Swift in various sexual situations.
Mm.
The big ones that were going around were her painted red, nude. The suggestion being that she's getting tag teamed by the entire Kansas City Chiefs.
Well, because I was just enlightened to the conspiracy theory concerning Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce and the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl. Is it in any relation to that, or is it just people hate
No,
Taylor Swift for
it
always
was
being at
just
the game?
somebody doing a goof, somebody making these like AI pictures, like cartoons of, and they were very like intricate. They were like definitely high quality. I don't know what program they were using, but they were well done. They looked, she still had like 12 fingers, but
Right, of course.
they certainly were graphically impressive, but still, not, they didn't look like they didn't look real. It was obviously um like a digital rendering, like
Mhm.
well, I don't know what the right word, like cartoon animated, like a drawing,
Yeah.
a
Mm.
painting.
Well, that's still terrible. Why? I don't understand how people's minds work. I don't know why that would interest anybody, but okay.
There's really one a funny one where it was her laying on a bag of trash getting back shots from Oscar the Grouch.
Come on now. Why would somebody do that to Taylor Swift, man? That's
it
fucked
was
up.
it was just funny. And
That
so
is not
her
funny. That's
this
fucked up. That woman don't deserve that.
yeah, so the Swifties caught on to this and they were causing a fuss. They were in a
Well,
tizzy.
obviously.
And there was this, so the conversation that was being had was like one of consent, that she didn't consent for her likeness to be used in this way, and the language that was being
Correct.
used was like deep fakes, revenge porn,
Right.
all this sort
All
of
that.
language, which is kind of a misnomer for what these are, because this is, I would say that these images fall more into the realm of parody or caricature.
I guess, but
They're
it's still in such a vulgar way. Like it has to, it's just it requires it's sexual in nature, so it would require consent, in my
No, well,
opinion.
hold on. We'll get into that because it doesn't. But we'll get it. Hold on. Put a pin in that because uh, it escalated to the point where I guess Taylor Swift was mad about it, and the fucking White House held a press conference
I
about
mean, it could be sexual assault in the third degree.
it's not. I don't think.
It
I
could be.
think if this ever made its way to a court, I'll explain it here in a minute because I had
Mhm.
to. I'll tell you what happened to me and the research I had to do because
Right. Gotcha.
the current like press secretary, the whatever her name is, I keep calling her Jean Luc Picard. I don't know what's her name, like,
Oh, you mean the Haitian black lady that you keep
yeah,
calling Jean-Luc Picard?
but
I don't I
Pierre,
don't I don't know her name. I don't know. I've tried not to know these people's names on
yeah.
purpose.
So there was a press conference held about this, and there's a really funny account
They held
uh,
a press conference about Taylor Swift's vagina,
about these pictures of Taylor Swift getting gangbanged by the Kansas City Chiefs, or a team that
which
looked
is
like
awful.
them.
Which is
Yeah,
awful.
but
I
I'll say this: in the images, she appeared to be having a good time, and everybody that was commenting on this was saying that what was being depicted was gang rape. And
I mean, and you said what?
I said, guys, there's a distinction. This is a gang bang, not gang rape. She appears to be enthusiastic about what's happening in these pictures. Now, the
But
real life,
Taylor Swift herself did not consent to these images being created.
sure, but in real life, yes, the real Taylor Swift probably takes umbrage with this.
But the images,
The
like it has to be some type of sexual assault because it's distribution of images of a sexual nature, using the likeness of a person who did not consent to their likeness
Well,
being used in such a way.
hold on, we're gonna get into that because here's what happened.
Mhm.
So, oh, and there was this really funny account, Uncle Doomer, who posted something where he said, you ever shit post so hard the White House has to hold a press conference?"
No, no, I don't.
It was so funny. So I was paying attention to this and I was thinking like it's really strange that of all the like insane stuff that gets like disseminated on the internet, specifically this is what gets the government's attention and causes them to start talking about legislation in this way. And then like everybody's like upset about this. Fucking like SAG-AFTRA, like the all the Hollywood people that were against that wanted to use AI to do what they were doing, that the whole strike was about. We're now like talking about the dangers of AI and how it needs to be restricted.
Well, no, but
Um,
that's what the strike was about in the first place. The actors were striking against the rampant use of AI against
right,
their will.
right. I know that, but I'm saying like the Hollywood people that want to use
Oh,
AI
like the studios, the
were
executives, like
saying
the
that, like
yeah.
talking about how dangerous this is, and it was like, well, you motherfuckers were pretty on board with using this a few months ago. So Taylor Swift has that kind of power and influence. So I don't really, I've never really used AI that much. So I downloaded one of these apps and was just playing with it. And so I typed in pregnant Taylor Swift, and it was creating some pretty cool shit. It was making some really fun pictures.
Did you make a pregnant porn for Taylor Swift? Did you
It was not pornography.
pregnant Taylor Swift getting gangbanged by the Kansas City Chiefs? Is that what you
No,
typed in? Okay.
no. Uh,
Okay.
a lot of them were. I just because they have like different filters. So like one of the filters on one of the apps I use just says Halloween, so it does like
Mhm.
horror theme stuff. So I typed
Right.
in for that. There was like one I typed in where I just went pregnant Taylor Swift and Donald Trump, and it made a really fucked up picture where it's
Sounds like it would be.
like she's laid out on a hospital, like a broken hospital bed on the floor, and Donald Trump is like tending to her, and her pregnant belly is exposed, and for whatever reason, they're both covered in blood. And I probably generated like 50 just like pregnant Taylor Swift pictures.
Like, I'm
And
not even one of those alarmist type of people when it comes to technology, but I feel like AI is gonna kill us all. Just saying, I feel like it's gonna be the end of us.
Lord
If
will in Lord willing, inshallah. Uh, but I was like posting. I was just like having fun post like shit posting and trolling with these pictures I was making because
so you were shit posting and trolling with the pornographic pictures
no,
or the
nothing
ones that you were
pornographic,
oh,
just
okay.
really demented photos of Taylor Swift as she
Okay.
was pregnant.
Gotcha.
Clearly
Gotcha.
animated, like clearly like painting, like made to resemble like a painting or something.
Gotcha.
And so I was having fun with this, and I went to sleep. I was honk shoe. I slept, and I woke up the
Mhm.
next day and opened up Twitter and saw this notification. It was like your account has been permanently suspended,
And that's good for you. You leave
and
that woman alone. Leave that
and
leave
so
that
I
skinny
yeah,
white girl alone.
and so I looked at my email and it said like your account's been suspended because like all these reports came in that you were sharing like like sensitive images that like whatever the language they used was not what I was doing. Like I
Mhm.
was just doing like parody cartoons.
But they seem to be disturbing to by your
They were
own
demented.
admission.
And so
Mhm.
I was freaking out because I was like, I need this account. I need this to do what I'm doing. Like I have too big a following to try and build
Did
this
you
back.
did you protest?
I fought this tooth and nail because I had to do the research on this. So it goes back to 1988. Uh,
Okay.
Hustler Magazine Incorporated
Oh God. Are we talking about
Fall
Larry Flint?
versus Falwell,
Okay.
landmark
Yeah. I
Supreme
remember
Court
that
decision.
it was for an ad for Campari, wasn't it?
Something like it was a parody that Hustler
Yeah, it was a
printed.
parody thing, and they talked about him having sex with his own mother. I remember that
Yes, and so
because I read the whole thing.
the
I
Supreme
remember
Court
that.
ruled in favor of Hustler Magazine, Larry Flint, and said that
Yeah, it was
parody,
parody.
even parody created with the intention to cause emotional distress is protected by the First and 14th Amendments of the Constitution of these United States. So I sent probably 15 emails to Twitter, just like
Okay.
appealing this. And I was just I created an alternate account just harassing Elon Musk, like everything he posted just in the comment section, like, hey, you fucking de-antwoord ass looking motherfucker, fuck you. Where's my account? and I was like making videos and all this stuff. And then I was like legitimately freaking out. I was like, damn, I'm like very stressed about this.
Well, this is why I'm glad I have a real job because I don't have to go through all this
I have
bullshit.
a real job, but I'm also
Not real enough, but
I
it's
have a real job. Dude. I'm a rock star at my
not
job.
real. It's not real
Uh,
enough, baby.
but miracles happen. Happy justice and freedom
So it's
prevailed.
reinstated.
It was reinstated today,
Mm-hmm.
and I've had a great day on Twitter today. Tons of new titty videos. Everybody was very happy to see me back. So
I guess now you have the validation you seek on poor Taylor Swift's back.
yeah, I
Uh,
learned my lesson. Don't even touch that bitch. I'm not fucking going after that anymore. This is not even worth it.
yeah, but I don't know why you didn't know that already. Taylor Swift is literally America's sweetheart. Why would you?
They've elevated her to like Muhammad status. Like I got hebdoed. I got fucking
Yeah, well, why would you even endeavor to parody or malign such a woman? You can't win over that. You
uh,
just can't.
I guess that's true. I didn't realize that that was the case because you go on Twitter and there's like you see like 50 videos of people getting like their heads cut off and shot and dying and I
Yeah, I
saw
was
one.
never on that Twitter, so
Oh yeah, Elon's Twitter is fucking nuts.
I was never on that
I
Twitter,
there
and I don't want to
there's
be.
there's so many accounts now that have like hundreds of thousands of followers. They're devoted to just like fucked up video, like old like rotten.com.
Rotten.com. That's exactly what I was
Yeah.
about to say. This sounds
I
like
saw
it's
one.
Rotten.com.
I didn't want to see this. It was just on my For You page where it was a video of a guy trying to kill himself. He jumps off a building, and what you see is the body coming down. He lands ass first on a bollard. Like, one of those like poles in the ground that stop so you don't run your car into a building.
Yeah.
Ass first on a bollard, and it goes all the way up his ass and like uh impales him up his ass. And I was like, yo, I ain't want to see this shit. It's 9 a.m. I'm not trying to see this right now.
And that's your karma. You shouldn't have been posting that weird shit about Taylor Swift. They might not think you like that. But I've never had anything like that on any For You page that I've ever seen. But I don't engage with that dark demonic type of material
I
at
guess
all.
so.
I learned my lesson with Rotten.com. I never again.
Yeah.
Never again.
I don't know how the For You page works because like my
It's
most of
algorithmic.
most of what
It's
I look at is just titties and
mhm.
like shit posting like troll accounts. But I'm not looking for gore videos.
No, you don't have to be. Like I'm never looking for specifically uh like they'll show me weird Asian stuff, right? Sometimes not even weird Asian stuff, just Asian things that I wouldn't even be concerned about. But it's because I watch skincare things and then they go further into the Asian shit. It's like, no, it's not the Asians that I'm watching, it's the skincare stuff. I don't care about
Yeah. Have you
their
seen
race.
Bobo? Have you seen Bobo?
Who is Bobo?
Bobo. I think
Who is
he's
Bobo?
I think he's also Somalian. Somali? I don't know what the word is. Somali. He's a big tall black dude who is like an immigrant to China. He lives in like some small village in China.
Okay. And
He
he's a very
must
tall Somali man.
he must be like a CCP psyop or something because like I watch his videos and I'm like, yo, let China take over. This rocks. I love this guy because
So
he's
his
just
name is Bobo and he's
he,
in China.
he goes by Bobo. And he's a big tall black dude and he speaks like fluent Chinese. And his TikTok is just day in the life of like him just going like waking up, brushing he lives in this little like house in this village. He brushes his teeth and then he walks to the market to buy like a goose and some scallions and stuff for dinner. And then he comes back and
Bobo speaking. Can you speak some
yeah.
um
Then he cooks up like a nice Chinese
Why
dinner for him and his neighbors. He's like, Uncle, Uncle,
would
I make dinner for us, Uncle.
you say it like that? That's
I don't
fucking
speak
terrible.
Chinese. So my translation is
Oh
Uncle,
my
I
God.
make goose dinner for us, Uncle. Stir
Does
fry?
North Texas make anything other than mildly to severely racist white people? Like,
No,
does that?
no.
No, no. What?
Oh,
This is why I hated Dallas. This is why I had to leave that motherfucker. I'm so glad I'm in Houston.
yeah.
But yeah, I just saw him. That is a very big black man in China. I had to look it up. I'm not on social media. Like I discovered that Spotify has audiobooks and I've barely been on social media since. Like I just
Oh, yeah. I just pirate or allegedly pirate all of my
and
audiobooks.
oh and of course I play Township all the time now because that's the time of life that I'm in. I just play Township.
Township? What is that?
Township, it's one of those weird merge games, but also you have to like build a town and raise crops and make products and all this other
Oh,
shit.
it's like Catan.
But way more whimsical and fun and wholesome. Uh, but yeah, that's what I do in my life: audiobooks and Township,
Yeah.
and sometimes wine. Oh, and I be fucking these hoes. Maybe that's what it is. I fuck too much, and I
You,
thank God for dick because it keeps me out of a lot of trouble. I think.
yeah. Okay, that's cool. That's good. Speaking of racists.
Speaking of
Speaking of
racists,
racists, did
okay.
you did you see the big news about Saturday Night Live this week?
Oh, Shane McGillis.
Shane McGill McGillis, yeah. Is
Is
it
it Shane Gillis? Shane McGillis? Shane Gillis?
Shane Gillis, yeah. He
Okay. See, and that's my racism because he's Irish. I gotta add a Mick to it. I gotta add a
yeah,
Shane.
he's hosting in a few weeks, and that's
But
like
I feel I don't know nothing about this boy. No, I know we talked about it before, but I didn't know of anything he did that was that terrible. I
no,
don't.
yeah, he said a slur, he said some slurs.
Did he call somebody a gook? What did he say?
No, he said chink on a podcast.
Chink, that's what it
And it
was.
was like the year that he got cast was like the same year that they cast Bo and Yang. And
And
this was
they
like at the height of the culture wars and like all
yes,
that
it
it
was.
poll
Yeah, and
identity
I thought that
politics.
was very weird. I thought that was very weird to quote unquote cancel him because of one minor inflection. I mean,
Yeah, but it was like tensions were it was literally I think just because Trump was president and it was like during all of the identity
but they had that
politics.
motherfucker on the show, so that seems
I
very
that
hypocritical
that
to
was
me.
always my thing is like I don't know what you're expecting from Saturday Night Live, but the track record of this show is like
I haven't watched it since the early 2000s,
yeah,
quite
it's
frankly.
the show has never had consistent politics. It's never even been consistently funny. The show
Correct.
mostly
So,
sucks. Um
but it
and
doesn't matter who's in office. They go at everybody. They kowtow to everybody. They kiss everybody's ass. They make fun of everybody. It really doesn't matter.
they just had Nikki Haley on. They had her in the cold open this last weekend. So they had fucking like Io Itabiri doing a sketch with Nikki
Yeah.
Haley.
I
um
mean, but it's what they can afford. I have no doubt in my mind that somebody is sliding, what's his name? Lauren. Somebody is just sliding Lauren. So look, here's $100,000. Put Nikki Haley on. Sure.
sure.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Lauren is sort of like the comedy version of Logan Roy. Like he's just like I think he more than anything he just cares about business and money.
He
So
agrees the poems, man. That's all that matters. Sure, I'll put
yeah,
you on. I don't give a fuck. Elon Musk, you want to be on here? It'll cost you 250K. Sure. Whatever.
yeah.
Come
But
through.
the Shane thing is like interesting because like I knew about him. I'd like seen his stuff
I didn't
back
know shit
then.
about him until he got canceled.
Yeah, prior to him getting cast and canceled, I was aware of him. I'd listened to that podcast and had seen some of his stuff online. And then I was in the city and like he that all happened and I like went and saw him do stand up live.
Mhm.
And this was before he really, really blew up. But I just remember watching him do like 15, 20 minutes and thinking like, man, this sucks. He's really good. I was
And
like,
that's what I've heard from people that he's really funny. And I remember even certain Asian comedians in New York kind of coming to his defense.
yeah, I was upset at how good he was. I was like, oh, he's gonna be the biggest comedian on the planet. I was like, he's too fucking good.
And I
And
still haven't seen him do stand up to this day. Like I don't care enough. I just
yeah, he's really really talented and gifted. Like in a way, like in that like innate way where it's like oh yeah, you can't like develop this. This is just,
It's just it's something you have and you don't have.
yeah. Um, and it was just like frustrating to watch. I was like, damn, dude, this is just a good old boy from middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, which I guess is
Mhm.
kind of inspiring because I'm a good old boy from middle of nowhere, Texas, but I'm on a different path.
Aren't we
Um,
all?
mm-hmm.
But
Um,
but Shane McGillis, the fact that he's hosting, I was very, I thought it was a
McGillis.
joke because Gillis, gosh, I keep adding more Irish on it than there is. But I did see that, and I saw a lot of stand-up comedians posted like it was like, remember when told Dave Grohl is gonna have his own show or is producing a show on HBO? It was like that. Everybody kept
Yeah.
posting, and I'm like, is this a joke? Is this actually happening, or is this a joke?
I
Um,
didn't think it was real when I saw the tweet. I was like, there's no fucking way. That's
I
crazy.
said, is this a joke?
But he's tight with Che. He's tight with Michael Che.
Hmm. Yeah,
And
yeah,
he's talked about the fact that he's like kept in touch with Lauren ever since all that happened. So his star has only been rising up and up ever since then. So he's kind of like too big to ignore at this point.
right.
And everybody love people worship. It's like the thing that bugs me about him is not him himself. I will say though, when I was at Skankfest South and I was like unbeknownst to me, just like going crazy. Like I was
Yeah.
mad. We
Hmm.
were all in the green room and Shane has a reputation of being kind of a bully, being like,
Mm,
high school jock kind of guy. So we were in
okay.
the green room and he was trying to fuck with me and he was like saying some shit to me and then at one point he said something like you fucking pussy and
Interesting.
yeah and I like beamed online and I looked up at him and I go, "Hey Shane, do you think you're holding court right now?"
Oh.
And then it caught him off guard because I don't think he's used to people doing that with him.
Mm.
And he just looked at me and he goes, "What?" And and then I just like mean
You
mugged
heard
him.
me, bitch.
Yeah, I just mean mugged him like,
You heard me, bitch.
yeah. And so that was the end of that. And then the next day he came up to me and he like put his hand on my shoulder and he goes, "Hey man, I just wanted to let you know, like I was just joking yesterday. Like we're
I'm
cool,
sure
right?"
you were. I'm sure you were.
He like legitimately felt bad about it. I was like, yeah, man, I don't give a shit.
I think, unfortunately, there's this thing in stand-up comedy. One of my least favorite things about it, uh, mostly with the dudes, and women emulate this as well. Uh, but there seems to be this idea that to be the king of the hill, you have to be the biggest asshole in the room.
Yes. Yeah, I dealt with that a lot. I was always like frustrated with that because I was like, why are we all trying to just copy Patrice O'Neill, who
Right? Why are we all trying to
m
out asshole each other?
most people didn't even like him. Most people didn't like being around that guy.
And I don't blame him. On stage, he was hilarious, but if I had to talk to that person, uh, it
Yeah.
wouldn't go well.
Yeah,
It's,
it seems like it would be difficult to
yeah.
interact with a guy like that.
If he brought that, and there are certain stage personas that don't belong off stage, I find. So,
Yeah.
and I think that a lot of times that they bring it off stage because maybe who they are as a person doesn't feel as strong as whoever goes out on stage for them and gets all the laughs and the claps and the pats on the backs and the attaboys. And so they bring that person off stage much less entertaining,
Yeah.
much
I
less
think I
endearing.
mean, a lot of it's probably just born of, with like all these kinds of people, just born of insecurity. It's just a bunch of people
Right.
who are very insecure about themselves and putting up
But
defense systems.
I think we could say about a lot of comedians, a lot of us are just very insecure about things or have been insecure about things, and humor was the way that we learned to cope with it.
Yeah. Yep.
And so
Um,
it's a very complex and sophisticated defense mechanism.
hmm yeah, calling people gay and retarded.
Well, it's because I gotta hurt you before you can hurt me, right?
Yes.
When it like you learn because I learned that too when I was young. Because if I know that people are gonna, or if I have it in my head from past trauma that people are gonna make fun of me, what I will do is make fun of you first,
hmm
and I will do
Yes.
it in a way to just shut you up for good.
Yes.
You're never gonna want to say shit to me because you know it's gonna be bad. Like when you come over here, it's gonna be bad news, and I'm embarrassed you. So. It's like that defense mechanism that you build up, being the bully first.
I get that.
Yeah.
I try to build up my brothers and sisters now. They call me
Is
they there's some people call me the white Cornell West.
that right? You don't have
Hmm.
the hair
Yeah, I don't. I should get that.
or the fun teeth. You don't have
Yeah.
any of that.
I mean, I do like have the same like general just unkemptness, just
True. Because
just
he's
like
too smart for a comb. He's too smart to care what his hair looks
yeah,
like.
when you're really really smart, you don't like worry about your like physical appearance or environment. And
Yeah, none of
like
that
you ever see
matters.
those like pictures of Miles Davis's apartment where it's like that meme where it's like, "Damn, bitch, you live like this?"
Just living in abject squalor
Yeah, and like
because
at the height of his fame, like at the height of his success, he was living like a fucking like 19-year-old college student. His apartment was filthy.
just do better, Miles Davis. He
Yeah.
also hit women, so that doesn't
Hmm.
surprise me.
Yes, and he did heroin.
That yeah, heroin will do it. I mean, we've all seen the picture of Whitney Houston's bathroom when she was on that shit bad.
Dude,
So
her shit looked rough. Yeah, that was a bad.
man, and I love
Um.
me some Nippy. You can't tell me nothing bad about no Whitney Houston, but that was some rough shit to see.
Hmm.
Like, and that was really awesome. Damn, bitch, you live like this? God, for
Yep.
real?
Yeah, we're starting to see that now with Doja Cat. Like, she'll post some pictures of her in her room doing whatever like weird shit she's doing. I'm like, damn, bitch, you live like this,
Doja, like I can't say that I
dude.
want to rescue Doja, but I
She's
want to
like
rescue Doja. I just
Joker. She's like Jokerifying herself.
she really is
She looks psychotic now.
like Jared Leto's Joker, not even like the fun ones.
She got a
Not even,
forehead tattoo. She looks crazy.
and it looks like a spell. Like I was trying to read it. Me and my homegirl was trying to figure out what it said. She said, "Bitch, don't say that 3 times."
Yeah, it's
The
so
little
weird.
class.
It's so weird because like she's very talented and
She is,
everybody wants to love her, and it's almost like
me included.
yeah, it's like she just keeps like pressing people like I dare you to still like me.
And I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna be here for this, Doja. I'm not sticking around. But one thing that I learned from a very, very young age, um, thanks to R. Kelly, is that uh, you don't know these motherfuckers in real life. If you like what they do, just like what they do and leave it at that. So I separate myself from those things.
That's yeah, that's what I was gonna say about Shane McGillis is he's like he's a nice guy. He's a cool dude
Mhm,
and very like community minded. Like he takes care of his people. So like even though he
mhm,
does the bully thing, like he's very charitable and like a good dude. But the fans of his, they have the strangest relationship with him as fans.
mhm.
Like they worship him. They like when he got this SNL thing, there were people acting like like there was a victory for them too. And I was like, you guys know your lives still suck. Like this,
You still gotta clock in to work in the morning. I
yeah,
don't
it's
know.
like good for him, but
Your
you got
Saturday is still gonna suck.
yeah, people have this very strange like extra strength parasocial relationship with Shane. He went on the first time he went on Rogan, he wore this like $10 Walmart golf polo, just like this dopey looking like
Right.
double XL striped Walmart golf polo.
Right, with the duck head on it or something. Just,
Yeah, and when I was at Skankfest South, there was like
Mm.
a sea of like fat, smelly dudes wearing that shirt. They had like
Was that the
gone to
one that I saw you when I saw you? Like, was
yeah,
that like,
there were tons of
okay, right.
guys there who had like gone to the like Walmart's website and hunted down that shirt because they wanted to wear the same $10 Walmart golf polo that Shane had worn. I was like, this is crazy.
But I find that happens with men, especially male comedians who get canceled. Like it just makes their audience, certain parts of their audience, the male part, glom onto them even harder. Like with Dave Chappelle, the way they just glom onto him and just hang on his every word, like everything he says is gospel.
Yeah,
It's like that.
yeah. People love Shane in a really like it seems like unhealthy way. I'm like,
It is, but I think it's because some of what happened to him did appear maybe unfair on his face. And that makes people even more passionate about the cause. You know what I'm saying? So wait, you
Yeah.
can't do that to him. That's not right. And
I
then
I
him
think
actually
that
being funny, it just kind of puts that fire under people. Like we have to rally behind Shane. He needs our support.
yeah, I think the
So,
healthiest way to engage with entertainers is to appreciate what they do. You know, if it
mhm.
brings you some amount of joy, like appreciate it, like, have fun with it, but also maintain, at minimum, a low grade contempt for their success. You know, just like fuck you for becoming a millionaire doing this bullshit.
I love that last movie, Rich Bastard.
Yeah.
Like, just
Just like, oh, you think you okay, you got to cheat the system and now you get to make like tons of money being a
man.
goofball.
Right, you think you
Fuck
better
you.
than me, Erica Badu, just because you
Yeah.
get to be weird and people pay you for it?
Yeah, you
Fuck
think
you.
you get to show up to your concert 4 hours late and still cash the check afterward.
You think you
Yeah.
better than me, Dave Chappelle, going to the comedy store in the middle of a mic
Yeah.
doing three
So it's
hours?
you can recognize the brilliance in what they do, but also
No,
keep in mind, fuck you for
no.
succeeding.
For being one of the ones that they picked
we
out of the
we
masses.
yeah, we did a live stream the other day, me and some friends.
All of us desperately reaching our hands up to be chosen. And you
Yeah.
got picked, you are.
We did a live stream the other day, me and some friends, and we were just like ripping on Shane, just like talking shit about him. And this one
Mhm,
girl hopped in the stream, like we had her call in,
mhm.
and she was upset. She was like, "Why are you guys talking shit about Shane?" And I go, first off, he's more successful than us. That's strike one." Like,
You're already starting off behind.
yeah. It's like I try to be as honest as possible about that. Where it's like, if
Absolutely, you have to.
yeah, it's I'm not trying to like disguise it as anything other than I wish I was successful. So fuck
But
you.
it's not me, so fuck you.
Yeah, because there
But
were.
I don't feel like that. I just kind of I just remember that these are human beings, and that's the part that I think that's lost on people. These are human beings that are capable of fallacy, just like any of us.
Hmm.
Capable of as bad as you may be yourself, and as good as you may be. That person that you lionize is capable of the exact same thing.
Yeah,
Like
they're.
if you a person that be digging in your booty and stuff and smelling your finger, please believe that Tom Cruise can do it too.
Tom Cruise be
He's
digging in his ass.
you know what I'm saying? He might do that as well. So just as low as you're capable of going, any other human being on this planet is capable of doing the same thing, including all these famous people. We just know their name more than anybody else just by effect of what they do. That's it.
Yeah,
There's
for
nothing
sure.
special about them, really. It's just because of the job they have, because of the work they do, they're in a position of being more visible. That's it. That's it. They're not no different. In fact, a lot of them motherfuckers is weird as hell, and you probably wouldn't stand to be in the same room with them for 30 minutes before saying, "Well, look, I gotta shit, I gotta get the fuck out of here because you were freaking me out." Um,
Yeah, I don't.
so
I'm not like. It's weird. Like, there is a part of me that's attracted to celebrity. Like, anytime I've been in the room with a celebrity or someone who's noteworthy, there is like a magnetism to that person, and there's like the glitz and glamour of it, where I'm like, damn, this is cool. But then there's also a part of me that's like put off by it, where I'm like, I don't really want to like talk to this guy. He exists in like just another dimension than I do. So we don't have any. What are we going to talk about? Like, I have $11 in my bank account.
right, like I'm really in my pocket's flat than a bitch. What do we have in common right now?
Yeah.
But I in those situations, I guess I'm gonna be the same person no matter what. I don't know how to be anything other than just the exact same person. And celebrities, I get so annoyed by the way other people act around celebrities that I do the exact opposite.
Right.
I just can't help but just be like, yeah, I'm gonna go over here where y'all
can't
aren't.
can't network. You don't want to network.
No, it's
You
like
don't want
y'all
to
over there
crowd
with
around the fucking C tier headliner that's showing up at the club that weekend. You don't want to go fucking
no, I don't. Well, when
talk
I met
to
Felonious Monk,
Chris
he was real.
Reed.
Like Felonious Monk was real cool. Like I actually just sat there and like talked to him and kicked it with him, and it was fine. But that's because he's a real person. It's Felonious Monk. Um,
The
I
jazz
met
musician?
No, he's very dead. Felonious Monk, the stand-up
Oh,
comedian.
oh,
Uh, but I've met people like, Michelle Buteau, Tommy Davis. I've met people like that, and I didn't like Lunel, and I meet them, and I'm not all like, oh my God, like Tiffany Haddish. I remember one night we was in Arlington kicking it with Tiffany Haddish for no good reason. But I'm not about to be in this bitch face like that. Like I'm not.
yeah, I get
We
that.
can kick it and be cool. Like I'm not about to talk to you any different than I would talk to anybody else.
Right.
I remember Dolce Sloan. I met Dolce Sloan for the first time. And the only time I've ever met this woman. And I'm a fan of hers. I really, really like her. And I met her and I said, oh my God, it's so nice to meet you. I've been a fan for a while. And I said something to the effect of, but obviously spitefully, of course, joking. And it was like that comedian thing of we both know, we two black women, we understand that people are going to be mad at the fact that you are in the spaces that you're in just because of that. But she took it as me being serious. And
Right.
she took it as me telling her that she doesn't deserve to be where she at. And I was like, if she went off on me, and I was like, wait, hold up. Wait a minute. I was kind of drunk, so I wasn't in defense mode. I was mostly like, wait, I don't know what's happening. It was just like I was getting,
They are an
comboed.
oddly sensitive bunch, successful comedians.
And she was just going hard. And I was like, wait, I wasn't trying to say it like that at all. I was okay. I was like, she's like, well, maybe you just not working hard enough. I was like, whoa, I don't know what
She's
we
probably right about that. I mean, you probably aren't working hard enough. You probably do need to work harder.
sure, why not? Let's say that. But I didn't even take it there, but she went to a different place with it, and I was like, all right. Because it was like Mia Jackson, it was her, they were recording. Well, Mia Jackson recorded a special in New Orleans, and we went to the show, and Dulce was there. And Mia was super cool, talking to them. Like I've talked to a lot of comedians who are quote unquote making it. And it's just some people are different than others. Like some of them are very sensitive,
Mm-hmm.
like Dulce was. But other ones are real cool, like Baron Vaughn was. And it's like you just never know what you're gonna get with them.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Which is
a
why I avoid them for the most part.
yeah, yeah, I try to avoid entertainers.
They're just a very weird and tricky bunch. They're very sensitive. It's like walking into a minefield with some of them. You say things and they automatically will take offense, and it's like, hold up, I didn't say nothing like that. Where did you get that from? Or they'll just be weird in general, and they're just going to be drug addicts and alcoholics. You just
Mm-hmm.
never know what you're going to get.
Yeah. That always made me laugh in Dallas, like when Paul would act like that. Like, do you, it's like, how successful do you think you are? Because you're not successful enough to maintain this.
I really feel like that motherfucker just starts arguments with me when he drunk just so he can feel brave. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I would see there were nights I would see him get like they would have to like pull him off of the stage. He was too drunk. And it's like, man, you have one album. You have an album and you headline at shitty clubs all over the country.
Well, I'm not knocking him for any of what his success is or where he is in his career. I can't even speak to that. But when you drink so much to where you start arguments with people who not even arguing with you,
Yeah, but that kind of like idiosyncrasy, that sort of like destructive behavior, Chappelle can get away with it. Cat Williams can get away with it. Like, but if you're just a road dog like Paul is, it's like you kind of need to you be on your P's and Q's, dude. Like you're not at
well,
the
I guess for
level where you
some,
get to be a degenerate alcoholic.
but I guess for somebody like me, he feels like there's no consequences in talking to somebody like me that way, other than possibly getting knocked the fuck out. But I don't want to go to jail again looking for him.
Mm-hmm.
So I keep my hands to myself. Um, but yeah, it's just another reason why I avoid those people a lot of times because if you it but it's not always the really big comedians that act like that. It's people on that level. It's like they might almost be there, but they're not quite there.
Yeah,
They have this weird thing that they feel like they have to prove within themselves
a little
because they're
too,
not
a little too big for
up
their
there.
britches. These
Yeah, I
guys,
don't. It's this overcompensation.
yeah,
This overcompensation for that distance that they are from the stardom that they crave.
yes. I mean,
And
I kind of get it because like you have to like work so hard and get fucked over so much just to get to any
mm,
sort of level where you're actually working. So like
mm,
by the time you get to a place where you're like headlining shitty clubs on the road, you know, you
right,
feel
you probably feel abused to a certain extent.
yeah, it's like hurt people. It's sort of the
Yeah,
mentality.
definitely, definitely. But I do still feel that adult human beings need to control themselves. If you know you got
Yes.
a chip on your shoulder, work on that before you come out into the public. Lest you may meet a less charitable Deanna who might swing on your stupid ass and knock you on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah. It's, I mean, you know, whatever. You gotta everybody trying to get that much attention. You know, us included, be entertainers, content creators.
I'm still not willing to claim that, but
You gotta
okay.
have a few screws loose. You know,
I don't know. I feel like my screws are mostly in place. I think that's why I don't do comedy as much as I used to because my screws are in place
yeah. The more
at this
stable
point in
you
my
are,
life.
yeah. If you're like getting better and more stable and healthy, it's like, oh yeah, I don't really have the desire to
I don't
throw
want to be out here.
myself in front of this audit, like vie for the attention, like affection of strangers as much.
It's not even the affection of strength. It was the weird thing. Like for me, comedy was just me just or not was is just me saying things that I really think instead of having to filter it through this respectability.
Yeah, you wanted to disregard social mores and the masquerade.
Right, like cause like you supposed to be this little Christian black girl from the South. No, that's not really me. I don't fit into that mold, the
For
little
me, the motivation was
dimensions.
always it was always and still is. I don't want to have to work. I
And that's
don't.
fair.
I don't.
That's
Clocking in sucks.
it really does. You ain't lying about that.
401k is gay.
It
401ks are
is
gay.
super gay. Um
Yeah.
IRAs and shit, fuck that shit.
I mean,
I hate all of it.
I will say that as far as day jobs go, sales is pretty tight.
I hate sales.
I'm getting better at it, and it's pretty tight because it's like I just sit at a desk all day, and I get a phone call.
Well, because you're an unrepentant song and dance man. You don't
Hmm.
care.
I'm a con man, yeah. You know, I'm a flim flam man.
You don't care.
Yeah, I talked to I was laughing about this the other yesterday because like I can usually now I'm starting to like pick up how I'm starting to understand how a call is going to go pretty
Mhm.
quickly. And
Yeah.
one of the telltale markers of like the way a call might go is like within the first 15 seconds if I hear a smoke alarm chirp,
Mm,
you know, it's like yeah, they
mm.
ain't buying shit.
They ain't buying a goddamn thing.
They trying to get the cheap like government service.
So they not buying nothing, baby. They don't have time to even deal with that.
I had a lady call me who said, I just moved into my new apartment. And then the smoke alarm chirped. And I'm like, damn, bitch, it's already dead.
Yeah, they do that to you. They don't always change them before you move in. Those bastards.
Yeah. But I get like, because they got me, like, my job right now is they got me in the low income department. So a lot of my
Hmm.
calls are people receiving like EBT or Medicaid, housing
Hmm.
assistance. Like, they're trying to get affordable shit. So
Hmm.
I get probably if I get like 15 calls in a day, I would say like 8 of those are smoke alarm chirps.
Of course, because who has time for that? Who has time to change those batteries? There was a time in my life. There was a time in my life where there was always a chirp. And that was when I was very broke. That was at my brokest. And that thing was always chirping. And I ignored it because my mind was on other shit.
Were you
My
aware of it or did you just like get used to it? Like was it
eventually, yeah, you just tune it out even. It's just like, oh well, girl, whatever. I
cuz
gotta go to sleep. I'm
there was a
working two jobs.
video
I'm working two jobs, no car. I don't give a fuck about that chirping ass battery, bitch. I gotta be up in 4 hours. I'm
because
about to go to sleep.
there's
Wake
been
up and do it again.
videos that are baffling to me. Like there was a cooking video that went around a few months ago where it was that rapper DaBaby
Mm,
like making like chicken tenders or something for his daughter, and
yeah.
his smoke alarm was chirping, and I'm like, you're in
God damn it, baby.
like a fucking $3 million house. Like,
Yeah.
how is
Well,
this
see,
happening?
you don't hear it chirping now, and that's the thing. I once my mind was less on struggle, I could occupy that space where I'm maintaining,
Yeah,
where I'm not always striving. And I,
when
but
you
when
got
you
some debts paid off, and you're like, all right, I gotta go to CVS and get some 9 volt
right,
batteries.
right, I have some space on my plate, not just mentally, but financially, to where I can just emotionally deal with the fact that I got to put a battery in this motherfucker. Sure, I was on top of it. Uh, but poverty will make you not give a fuck about shit. Other than just getting to work every day, just getting to the bag somehow.
Sure.
So I definitely understand. But the baby, bitch, get that ghetto shit fixed. Don't be up in this. No.
Yeah, that was crazy.
But that's a mindset though. And then there's a poverty mindset.
Oh, I know. I've been on that for a while. Like I've been because like my family, like my dad and a lot of people in my family have that where
Yeah,
it's
it's a
like
poverty
I ain't
mindset.
shit, I ain't never amount to shit, and I don't deserve shit. And I try to tell these people, like anyone who talks like that, I'm like, that's poor people brain. Poor people
It
brain
is. It
is
is.
like a lot of people have it now. A lot of people have this mentality that like I'll never be able to buy a house, I'll never be able to do this and this. And it's like, well, if that's where you're starting, like I mean, whatever your circumstances are right now, if your mindset is that, then that will manifest. You're just gonna be
Right. You're not
fucked.
going far. You're not going much farther than that.
Yeah. That's why I say I'm the first billionaire podcaster. You
Hell
know?
yeah.
You know?
And I just want a little trickle down. If you just kick me down with six figures, I'm
Dee,
straight.
you're part of the network, of course.
If
You're the
I
one black person we got. We need you. You're the Hodge twins of this network.
don't do me like that, I will come to your house and murder you in your sleep. Um, oh, the Hodge twins. Are they still alive? I don't care.
Yeah, they're still kicking. Yeah,
Mm, mm, God bless them and their
yeah.
self-hating
I
asses.
before. By the way, this is sort of Hodge twins adjacent. It was something
Mm,
Theo Vaughn posted.
mm,
Um, this was before I got suspended. This was when all the stuff on the border was starting to kick off.
mm.
He posted something like, can we like close um let's close this bitch down and get a head count in this uh something like that. It was like he said like let's close this country down and get a head count in this motherfucker. And I like had a beautiful mind moment where I saw something I could do with this. So I took a screenshot of it and edited it to where it just said, let's get head in this motherfucker.
Hell yeah. Let's get into this motherfucker.
Yeah,
Cause that's a much more productive idea.
yeah. So I like edited it and just commented that under in his post, and it got like 3,000 likes. Like it
So
just
let's get some head in this motherfucker. Let's
yeah.
do that.
um
Let's spend our time on something that makes sense.
yeah, but the Hodge twins are still kicking. They're upset about the I'm like disturbed by the language people are using about this border thing. Like they're calling this an invasion. And I'm like, what are they attacking us with? Fucking flip flops? Like, what are you talking about?
The invasion of the chanclas.
Yeah, I
They're
literally said
coming.
I'm like, what are their weapons? La chancla? What are you talking? It's not an invasion.
Uh,
Yeah,
it's
they're
just it's just so sad. It's so very sad and
all the
upsetting.
videos that come out are like National Guardsmen in like full like Warhammer 40K armor and riot shields. And then you just see like old Mexican ladies and children wading through concertina
This
wire.
one just holding these children.
Yeah,
They
and
got
then
their hand wraps, they wearing whatever they had on their back coming
yeah,
out of Mexico.
and then
And this is who y'all standing against.
getting bashed by a National Guardsman with a riot shield, and then people are like posting it like the invasion continues. We need to strengthen the border, and I'm like, you know what? I can understand being upset about illegal immigration which is also a term I don't really like, but it's certainly much better than invasion. Um, I can understand like you know what bothers you about that, but stop like this language. This is gonna get fucking people killed. Like
I
talking
mean,
about it
look,
this way.
I say let them come over. Just don't move to Houston. We got enough motherfuckers here. Go somewhere else. But it's just it is very upsetting to see things like this happen. Because it seems to be telling of a certain political mindset of just hate.
Yeah, it's just a complete like dismissal
Like
of
politically, it's
empathy.
like politically that entire wing of our government, the entire Republican Party seems to be standing on a their platform is hate.
Yeah, and it's like, what are these people like? Truly, what do they think is going to happen? Because like everybody talks about how nobody wants to work anymore, and that's true. Who wants to work? You know who
We want to
does?
work for free. We don't want to
You
work to not live.
yeah, but you know who will work for pennies? Those
Hmm.
people.
Immigrants. I know that's right.
They're gonna do every fucking job that like all of us, you know, Peckerwoods don't want to do. You know, these us soft bellied OFAs like
I
myself.
mean, quietly, Mexicans rebuilt New Orleans after Katrina, so I ain't mad
Yeah,
at
I don't know. I
them.
don't know what they think is because it's like, okay, you push all these people out, you stop them from coming in. The fuck, you think the price of everything is going up now? It's gonna fucking skyrocket because now like every fucking company that relies on the cheap labor of these, you know, to
But
exploit
when you
them.
think of the origins of the Southwest, ain't this shit anyway? Like, just stop being weird about it, man. Those lines that y'all draw on maps don't mean shit
Yeah. You know what infuriates me also is like, you know, the amount of fucking construction projects that have been going on in Texas for like 25
forever,
years. Yeah,
forever.
that
Yes,
they have not even come close to finishing.
correct.
They're just stalled and there's just endless, infinite construction that
Yeah,
they're not even working on.
yeah.
So like, they just have that happening. Like, there's just all these, like, construction projects that they're not getting around to. But somehow Governor Abbott is already like installing a fucking border wall.
And that's
Like,
and their focus is on hate, their focus is on intolerance, their focus is on fascism. Like the fact that y'all put so many working hours into banning abortion. Y'all put so many working hours into gerrymandering and stifling voting rights and the
yeah,
border. Y'all put
yeah.
so much time
The
into hate.
people who like you know harp the most on freedom and personal liberty seem to be the ones who really want to take it away from from
From
everybody.
so many people, everybody but themselves. I mean, if you're Christian and white and you subscribe to those ideals, to the tenets of Christianity, then you're fine. Anybody outside of that, you fuck. And you know, they keep saying our country was built on this. The country was built on exactly the opposite of that. It's the constant revisionist, rear view mirror that
Yeah,
it's very frustrating because it just seems like it's just so laying into the fabric of everything that we do now. There's nothing that isn't affected by the lies that we tell ourselves to make ourselves feel better about the wrong that we've done.
yeah,
And when I say the wrong we've done, I feel like America as a whole has done a lot of fucked up shit.
yeah. And you
Who
know,
the worst? And it's like we just keep lying to ourselves about it to make us feel like, oh, we did it for a good reason, or oh, it didn't even happen like that.
there's yeah, and there's really nothing stopping us from like evolving and progressing and moving forward than just like ourselves. We have like everything now to where we could become a more like populist, socialized, collective society. And there's people who are just dead against that. They still have this like old 20th century ideology about like, oh, what are you, a fucking commie? You know, why don't you go to Venezuela? And it's like, what, you mean the country that our government fucked up?
Yeah, you mean that one? The one that
Yeah,
the country that our government ruined their economy on purpose? Sure, let's
yeah,
go there.
yeah,
Let's go there.
because they shut down if you point out like an effective socialist democracy like fucking Iceland or something. They
And
have
Iceland
like
is a beautiful place, and they let
Iceland's
everybody
nice. I
come.
love I love Bjork. It's also kind of an ethno state.
Mm,
Not a lot of black people in Iceland.
it's cold and it's weird, but it's a beautiful place. But they let anybody come. I don't think they have much when it comes to immigration policy. I don't think they have too many restrictions
I think it's just
there.
unbelievably expensive. I think it's
Yeah, I don't think they have a lot of terrible restrictions, but that's a lot of those like Sweden, Finland, like they don't have a lot of restrictions when it comes to immigration.
I just don't know why can't life be easier? It's like people say like, "Oh, you just want a handout." And it's like, "Yes, hand me
Mm,
something."
I
If you're
don't
going
want
to
a
hand
handout. I
No,
don't
I
want a
want a
handout. I
handout. If
just
you're
want to
going
be
to
fed.
hand the fucking IDF $18 billion,
That's
give me
true.
something. Give
Give
me
me
something.
give me something, please. I ain't shooting nobody. I ain't trying to kill
Yeah.
nobody, man. Give me
Give
something.
me $100,000
That's it.
and then give the IDF all the fucking rockets and missiles you want. Just
There
give
you
me a
go.
hundred thousand dollars.
They don't
Also,
even know how to bribe us correctly to be okay with the shit they do. Like you could just bribe Americans a lot. They just
yeah,
want to live, but you don't even do that.
yeah. They want to make our lives as miserable as possible, and then enrich the lives of foreign militaries. And be able to like
But even the
subsidize.
militaries, like the people who work in the military, they don't see that money. The bombs see that money. Like they
Yeah,
don't.
well, the IDF needs all the help it can get because it's the most incompetent fucking military on the planet.
It
They're
would seem that
constantly
way.
Yeah,
It's
they're
like
constantly like blowing themselves up in Wile E. Coyote accidents.
it's like General Barney Fife. I don't know. Like I don't know
Yeah.
what's going on
Well, because
over
they
there.
have this like weird grade inflation problem where they have like 20-year-old major generals.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. Like
pe-
everybody's super young. Because
so
everybody keeps getting killed.
yeah, did you hear that one story where they were trying to like set up like explosives in some house and they just blew themselves up? Like a whole squad of, like 19-year-old captains and generals, 4-star generals that were trying to set up these charges, and then they just like blew themselves up. And then all the people are like, "Well, it's Hamas's fault. They wouldn't be there if it wasn't for Hamas." So,
And,
and then
and,
we're
and
gonna
see,
give
that's what I'm
them
saying.
billions of dollars. And then that dipshit fucking comedian Aaron Berg is
Aaron
like,
Burr. Who's
yeah,
Aaron Burr?
he's an edge lord, anti woke,
Of course, that's why I don't know him.
short, bald, gay, Jewish. He's not. I mean, I think he used to do gay for pay shit.
Short, bald, and gay sounds
Short,
hot.
bald,
Or
jacked, Jewish. And you know what? I've interacted with him, and we always had like pleasant conversations. He was always nice to me, but he's doing these like him and a bunch of other comedians are doing these fundraiser shows for the IDF. And I'm like,
he looks like
how
that trans porn star.
Buck Angel? Yeah, he looks like Buck.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he does.
Aaron Berg looks like Buck Angel.
He
Yes,
does.
yes. But him and a bunch of all these other like Zionist comedians are doing these fundraiser shows for the IDF. Like he just did one in, I don't know, Toronto or Ontario, somewhere in Canada that had all these pro Palestine protesters, and they still did the show. And he was like, "They tried to shut us down, but comedy wins tonight." And I'm like, "How cucked are you that you're providing your labor to raise money for the most incompetent military on the planet that's already being given billions of dollars by our government?"
And committing war crimes daily.
Yeah. Like I compared it to
Daily.
like, remember that Eddie Murphy bit about Johnny Carson's wife where he was talking about like Johnny Carson was getting this like nasty divorce where she was saying like
Oh
half
yeah.
shit. But he was
Yeah.
talking about like, he was worth $300 million and she was like a housewife. And
Right.
he made some the joke was that if your husband's worth $300 million and you try like you
All
get
you
a
gotta do is
job.
shut up and fuck him. Yeah, you just
Yeah, and if you try to get a job to contribute, it's like, okay, well,
so here's my $37.
here's
I
my
made
$70. I
I made that
contributed.
at Macy's,
Yeah,
right?
I was like, you are fucking you're Johnny Carson's wife right now. And the IDF is Johnny Carson, and this like you were what you're doing is so inconsequential and negligible.
Like,
And
have you even killed anybody today? What are you doing? Like,
it's
have you
like,
even murdered a child?
well, you're gonna raise like 10 grand or whatever at these shows, and it's like, cool.
Mm.
The U.S. government's already like passing bills to give these people like tens of billions of dollars. Like, what? I mean, why are you doing this?
Which is something that on a day-to-day basis I have to ignore because it'll make me too angry. The fact that they're pouring money even into Ukraine, and I'm not mad at the Ukrainian people, they have a noble cause, but at the same time, that's not our business. That's not our fight. What are we doing over there?
Oh
And I
yeah,
understand foreign policy. I understand NATO and all that other shit. I get it.
yeah.
I get it.
And you know what makes me laugh is like obviously the Biden administration wants to make it seem like shit's really thriving under his regime. Even though they've like intervened in all these wars and are just like funneling our money to these people. And so the like as we're all suffering and they're doing this in front of us, they also will turn around and say like we've created so many jobs, like unemployment is down. And it's like okay, I guess
I mean, we have jobs, but they don't pay us nothing.
yeah,
Like,
I
let's
guess
face it, we
like
have jobs.
DoorDash technically is a job, and Uber and all these like gig
Or even
jobs.
these full-time job at, I don't know, Ross. That's a job, you
Yeah,
know.
it's like okay, cool. There's a bunch of like excuse me.
Mhm.
There's a bunch of low wage fucking part-time jobs that people have now
Or
where they
even low-wage
still
full-time job. You working 40 hours a week and you still on government assistance.
they're still not making ends meet, and then everybody's starting to like really feel the effect of the 2008 crash. That's starting to
Right.
like really start to fuck people.
Well, it's fucking up the next generation at this point.
Yeah.
Like we're now feeling it because our parents felt it a different way. Now we're in it a different way.
Yeah, it's like when you hear about the, interest rates for a home are like 8%. It's like, huh, I wonder what caused this. Could it be when the entire housing market collapsed and the only people that got help were the fucking banks that caused it?
Maybe that was the wrong direction to
Yeah.
turn that. I don't know. But yeah, it's just
I love that movie
nobody.
though. Great
That's one of
movie.
my favorite movies, The
The
Big
Big
Short.
Short. Yeah.
One of my favorite movies is The Big Short, and I know that is an unpopular opinion,
I
but
love
it
I
is
love
what it is.
money movies where I just don't even
Me
know I don't even
too.
know what's going on. Like they're talking in a language that I'm like, man, I don't know what the fuck these people are talking about.
Well, I worked in mortgage collections for Bank of America. Uh,
It's
Not long after that, so watching that movie, it helped me understand what I was actually doing.
yeah.
And
But
so I
that
had a lot
scene
of high delinquency stuff, a lot of foreclosure stuff, and I was doing a lot of modifications, processing. So I understood it. I was like, oh, so that's what this is about.
Yeah,
Because
but
of course, Bank of America wasn't going to tell me.
that scene where Christian Bale goes to Goldman Sachs and is like, I want to buy 100 million credit default swaps. And the bank is like, sure, yeah, we'll sell them to you. And I'm like, what is he buying? Like 100 million what?
Mhm.
What is even being
Exactly.
what is the
Exactly.
transaction that's happening?
Well, they said it many times, like betting against the American people. You're betting on the system to fail.
Sure. Yeah.
And it is just legal gambling. That's it.
It's I got really deep into that shit for a while because I was like it started with me watching Succession. And so I
Mhm.
started to get like really interested in that
Well, the
kind of
Rupert Murdoch story.
yeah, I started getting really interested in money people. And so I
Hmm.
watched that and then I watched that the Robert De Niro Bernie Madoff movie.
Hmm.
And then I watched Big Short and then I watched the
You should
docu
watch the documentary. The documentary on Bernie Madoff is a good one.
yeah, I watched the I think I've seen that one and then I watched the housing crisis documentary.
There's a few of
Yeah,
them.
I got really deep into this and then I got like really depressed. I was like, God damn, this is like this is an unfathomable level. It's not even like the really disturbing thing about it is it's not even like evil or necessarily like malevolence on their part. The thing that's
Mhm.
really demented is its indifference. It's
Yeah,
people.
it's like the banality of evil, the indifference of actual wrongdoing. It's just a choice that's made based on what's best for you in the moment.
Yeah, like I can understand ISIS. That makes sense to me.
They have a
ISIS.
cause, at
Yeah, they
least.
have a cause, but just some guy in a suit in an office building who has like reduced the human population to numbers on a computer screen and is like making like on the fly decisions that are going to have far reaching ramifications on all of our lives. It's like, to me that's like, oh dude, this is too much for me to deal with. I'm like having nightmares now.
Yeah, and it is a nightmare that many people had to live. And imagine being in that situation and realizing that it only happened to you because a lot of rich people didn't care to look far enough down the road to see that this could be detrimental to millions of people's lives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they wanted the bag.
And that's it. And they
And
knew they
then
were
these
making
these
their money.
motherfuckers have the fucking nerve to go on all these news shows and podcasts and all that and castigate the American public for not wanting to work as much or for being lazy or entitled, you know. Like every week there's a new video that goes viral of a Zoomer, someone in their like early 20s who is like starting to face the like existential angst of the 40-hour work week and like that feeling of like, God damn, is this going to be the rest of my life?
Yes, baby. Except for the
And
periods of horrible unemployment in between where you're losing
sure.
your fucking shit.
Yeah, but every week there's some woman in her car crying about this. And then somebody like the one that pissed me off this last week was Matt Walsh made like posted this diatribe about like the 40-hour work week and you got to work hard and I'm like, have you ever worked more than 6 hours a week ever in your life? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I mean, it's to complain about anybody who really complains about the rejection of the 40-hour work week and life existing in that way. Is somebody who either never had to deal with it or somebody who comes from a time like your boomers where you can work 40 hours a week and make a decent living. Like it's one of the two.
Yeah, people with money work maybe 10 hours a week.
Yeah, they don't do shit.
They don't
They
do
don't do shit.
shit.
They don't do a motherfucking thing. And they claim they work hard. I make deals. I make deals. I invest.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not doing nothing, babe. You're not doing nothing. You're just getting residual income.
It's such a carnival. It's such a fucking just like like a carousel like carny games cuz like if you can figure really the goal in America is to figure out some way to fucking cheat the system to work around all this because you're a chump if you're trying to work your way up in any company. There's no upward mobility and you're gonna say like
Well,
offer.
that's why nobody keeps a job for longer than 3 years. It's like, well, I'm just gonna go somewhere else because y'all
Yeah.
got me in here at this rate, so y'all would never have to pay me more
Yeah,
than
like
this. So I have to leave.
my mom always tells me like, she tells me stories about her mom where she's like she worked at the Levi's factory for decades and retired and I go, that don't exist anymore.
That's
That
not a
does you
thing.
can't do that now.
That's not a thing.
You can't start on a factory floor and build any equity for your life now. You
I
have
mean, but there are the quote unquote victories for auto workers and the unions that have happened, like the big three automakers, the GMCs and stuff, and with FedEx and UPS. And with unionization, there have been some wins, but everybody's industry is not a unionized industry. Like everybody
yeah.
don't have unions.
But I mean, what do you do in a world now where the people who are working on oil rigs and trades and factories are getting butt fucked at every turn and not able to like feed their families? What do you do in a world like that where at the same time somebody like Amaranth has made
What's an amaranth?
she's an e-girl, a thought, an OnlyFans girl who has showed the receipts that she's made $57 million on OnlyFans.
Amaranth.
Yeah.
It looks
Am
like a grain.
yeah, she sucks. She's boring.
Mm.
I've looked at the leaks. I've looked at some of her videos. Not a lot happening. It's very
But
boring for
it says it's a grain. I'm not finding an e-girl.
it's
Oh,
AMOURANTH.
AMOUR. Amaranth.
Amaranth, yeah, she says
Not a
she's made
grain.
$57 million on OnlyFans, and there's like tons of stories like this where like different content creators like that, whether it's pornography or otherwise, are making like building crazy wealth, like generational fucking wealth doing what they're doing. And
Well,
you
everybody
see,
loves a big titty redhead, apparently. Like
of
that's like a
course,
thing.
Yeah.
Everybody else would pay rate.
But if you see enough stories like that, of course it's like, well, who wants to work then? Like if that's an option, like people talk about like it's disturbing that all the kids now just want to be influencers, and it's like,
Because they
well, look
want
at
to
the
have
world.
lives,
Yeah, look at the world that they're inheriting. It's like
right? They want to have
they're
money.
yeah, they're inheriting a world where it's like, well, that kind of is the only option now. Is like you kind of have to be an influencer because even the mythical learn to code, the coding jobs, those are going
Hmm.
away. Those are
Yeah, like
those are
that.
getting
This
automated.
slash, like these people are getting laid off. It was supposed to be one of the secure jobs, and people are getting laid off in mass
Yeah,
from all these tech companies, and that was supposed to be the thing to do. That was
I
like the
got
next thing, tech.
I got a friend, a beautiful woman, who was never interested in dating me. That's irrelevant to what I'm saying, but she's worked in coding for years now, six figures, pays a rent in Manhattan, so she's, been secure for a while. She got, hit on hard times because of this. And I remember the last time I talked to her, um, she called me and she was like, "Hey, so I'm auditioning at the strip club tonight." And I'm like, "Damn, bitch, you actually learned the code and you got to go do this?"
You gotta go shake your pussy down at
Yeah.
the
And,
rumpus room.
and I told her, I'm like, "Why aren't you doing OnlyFans? Like, you would make more money and like not be in such
Yeah, show your
precarious."
titties at home.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to put yourself in like a precarious position, and you would stand to make more money on OnlyFans. And she was like, "Oh, I just don't want that sort of thing on the internet." And I'm like, "Well, you're gonna like, do you want some fat Italian drugging you and dragging you to his SUV? Like,
Or just somebody in a velour pantsuit
yeah, do you want
trying to
some
have his way with you.
yeah some Persian guy fucking groping you and you know
Is that what you want for your life?
yeah."
Goodness, you was
OnlyFans
looking
is
at.
tight. I am a ally of the OnlyFans girls now,
Well, me
and
too. Like, get your money, girl, from behind a paywall. I'm not mad at you. Do what you
yeah.
got to do to
Now
survive. If only
I
I
will
had it in
say
me. I wish I,
the
I wish I had OnlyFans was out when I was in my 20s. I would have been shaking something.
yeah, you can still do it. There's a
I mean,
market.
I could, but there's no reason now
You
that
do
time has
some
passed.
sort of like Aunt Jemima cosplay or something where people are into that.
Are they, Dalton? Are people into that?
Yeah, they love
Mm,
cosplay.
racist
Um
cosplay.
Racist cosplay. Honestly, that's
That's
an untapped market, Dee Dee. You could do like
and you think I'm the motherfucker to tap it? You think that's
no,
me?
you wouldn't that wouldn't be you, know.
You think that's me? I mean, but look, there is a market for white men who like for black women to yell at them and call them names,
Mm-hmm.
and I can definitely do that.
Yeah. I would yeah, I will say that like the girls I'm friends with who I like talk to that are OnlyFans girls, it does seem to be a much stronger mental illness that they have. They seem to be a little more unhinged than your usual crazy bitch.
Hmm.
But they're very nice girls and, just trying to get the bag, showing their ass and titties.
And I'm not mad at them. Get your money, girl. Shake them titties, girl. Shake those titties, girl.
Yeah, shake them titties.
But I wish I would have. Well, I have a friend who was a financial dime. I don't know if she still is, but she's a very big titty black woman. She's very cute in the face. She has
That
anime titties.
I have been lurking on Findom Twitter the last few days. That's
Hmm.
the one where I'm like, I've unlocked a new circle of hell
Yeah,
looking
and
at
she
this
did, and
shit.
and they really just were giving her money. They were funding her whole lifestyle. I'm like, girl, I wish I had it in me. I really do.
Yeah. Because
I wish I had
I
the
was saying like
wherewithal.
I can understand paying a woman to watch her suck cock on camera. That's pretty tight. That's cool. But paying a woman for her to scold you for not paying her enough, I'm like, that's
It's crazy,
demented.
right?
That's crazy.
It's crazy. And when she told me what she was doing, and she showed me a text message, I bitch, they really paying you for this? Say, yeah, girl.
Yeah. Like I can't believe that people pay me for podcasting. But
I
then
can't either.
that now I realize like, oh, I'm actually like providing something of value compared to some or I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get the Findom thing. Like
And look, you ain't got to suck no dick. But the findom thing, it's men like to be humiliated by a woman secretly. And it's not always sexual.
yeah.
It's very much like they just like the feeling of that humiliation. It's usually dudes with a lot of money who are used to women just doing whatever they want.
Yeah. I
You
get
have a
that.
lot of money. You're used to women being nice to you because of your money, so you pay bitches to be mean to you because of your money.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't need to pay a woman to be mean to me.
I
It's
would
just
love to
kind
be
of
able to call some rich white man a broke bitch for only sending me $2,000. You broke bitch.
yeah,
How dare you insult me?
it's wild. Yeah, Findom Twitter has been like I'm going nuts like scrolling through some of this stuff. I'm like, man, I feel like I'm in a hell dimension right now. Like
It is. It's
this is
weird. It's
fucked
very,
up.
it's very weird, but I like it though. I wish I could do it. So if there's anybody out there who wants to defend Dom, who wants to be called a piece of shit for sending me, you know, $3,000 when they could have sent five,
Yeah.
just let me know. I'm
Yeah.
available.
Yeah, send Dee Dee 3 grand for her to call you a slur. Yeah.
To call you a cracker, a
Yes,
worthless
indeed.
cracker.
That's a market probably.
There is.
White guys paying strong black women,
Oh yeah, the
thousands of
whole like
dollars to call
so
them
much of
fucking
the
honkies.
dominatrix, so much of the dominatrix community is exactly that. White men wanting to be tied up and sweared at by black women in leathers
Mm-hmm.
with whips and things. So it's a whole thing. I used to do it a little bit, but I was phone boning. I used to Dudes would pay me to dime them over the phone.
Nice. That's cool.
So it
That's like
was
what I do with my sales job.
it is.
Yeah.
It is.
I'm like, how about you get a fucking TV cable package, bitch?
He broke bitch.
Yeah. You are gonna have to pay the broadcasting fee. You broke ass motherfucker.
There you go.
I can't believe that. TV is so fucking
Yeah.
expensive.
I
Like
don't This is which is why I don't have it. But I have an app conglomerate with my family. Netflix is hating though. Netflix has decided to hate on the public.
Netflix and Disney and Hulu, they're all like trying to put a stop to password sharing, and it's like, all right, time to take to the high seas again.
We're pirating, baby.
Yeah. I
Yo
found
ho ho, bitch.
I found a really good website where it's like, all right, you don't want me to watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia because my mom pays for Hulu,
Right.
then
It ain't nothing to jailbreak
get,
this fire stick, bitch. I can
guess
do it.
what? Now nobody pays for Hulu.
All right,
How you
nobody.
like
We all
that?
getting it free.
Yeah. Well,
The ingenuity of poverty, man. You can't knock it. You
hmm
can't knock it.
I guess we can wrap up with the Goon goggles.
Hell yeah.
Have you seen the Goon goggles?
What's a goon goggle?
The new the Apple Vision Quest, the Goon goggles, the jack off glasses.
Goon goggles?
That's what people are calling them. It's Apple released this new. It's not necessarily VR. It's like AR. It's like augmented reality,
Mm-hmm.
where like you put the goggles on,
Okay.
and
I'm looking at them.
you
Apple
now
Vision Pro.
yeah you now have a digital interface with reality. So you'll just be like chilling in your living room, and then you can also like throw up like 6 different TikTok screens just in front of you, and so you just like wave your arms around to scroll through all the TikTok screens. And there's a
That
yeah, there's some really funny videos coming out about it. Where there's one, the ones that have gone viral is a guy.
Oh wait, the one with the fat dude sitting in front of his Tesla with the goggles on?
Yeah, there's one where
Yeah, I
a
did see
guy
that.
is in
I
his
did see that.
Cybertruck. The Cybertruck's on autopilot, and the guy's
Yeah.
wearing the goon goggles, and he's just
Mm.
just all this
Just
shit.
doing all this. Like, what
Yeah,
the fuck is wrong with him?
yeah.
But but it's just one of those things. I've never been into the AR thing. I'm not. I Reality is enough for me. I don't need an alternate one. Um, the regular one is terrifying enough. But I guess that's what it is. People are just trying to escape from.
It like honestly, like from what I've seen, it's not there yet. Like it's very like
Yeah, it's
it's
stage
in its
one,
infancy.
right?
It looks cool. Like it looks like a cool idea, but it's like this very clunky, cumbersome device. It looks like, and
So we're getting close to Ready Player One by
I
each going
guess
there.
I mean
We're getting there.
it looks like if I feel like I'd be disoriented by it. Like if I was walking around and there was just like hallucinations surrounding me.
Well, yeah, I got vertigo as it is. But if I want to trip balls, I'll just do some shrooms. If I want alternate reality, I can do that.
Yeah,
Um, Maybe
but
I'll try acid one day. I don't know. but I don't need to put
Acid's
on no
tight.
further. I don't want no fucking
I mean,
goggles, man.
the thing is the Goon goggles are only going to get better, and it'll be like the iPhone where
So it's like
you
you
know
get to have titties right in your face, like the titties on the screen.
titties on
Will
deck
be
24/7.
will be the titties will be right here, right on your face, and you'll even be able to feel the stimulation of the nipples brushing against your nose,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll be a good fun time for the
Yeah,
boys.
because it's gonna be like the iPhone, where like the first
Mm.
iPhone came out and people were like, "What the fuck is this?" And then
This
like
sucks,
6 months later, everybody had one, and
right?
now you can't live without it. So like this shit's only gonna
Mm.
get better, and in like 2 years, they'll have it to where it's like just a pair of glasses. It's not this like big clunky device, and then everybody's just got fucking titties in their face.
That's it. Just walking around on the commute to work, at the
There,
grocery store with just
there's
titties
people
on.
legitimately do it. Like people, like videos of like a guy on the subway wearing this shit, just just like swiping his shit in the
And
air.
his dick is rock hard, just
Yeah,
fully erect on the subway.
yeah.
Beating off in public has never been so much fun.
Paying $3,500 to look at titties in public. It's like they don't. No
I
one
can't see it.
knows how many titties I'm looking at right now.
I can't see it. Reality is cool in my opinion. I don't want to escape it. Yeah, fuck it sucks, but I'm cool with it. I
Yeah,
made my peace with it a long
one
time
of the
ago.
videos I saw was like a guy showing it off, and there was like a digital, like a butterfly that it was creating, and he was like, "It's like I can touch there's a butterfly there," and I'm like, "There's butterflies outside. There are butterflies that
Look, the
exist."
grass, it feels real. There's real
Yeah,
grass.
I'm like you can. Yeah, it's like you can interact with the world currently.
Leave your fucking house, you weirdo. Goddamn.
Yeah, but I
What
mean,
the
there's also the part of me that's like, I see this technology. I'm like, this does look like it'd be pretty sick for some like gaming would be tight on this.
Well, yeah, I can see how gaming would be affected in a positive way by it
Yeah,
because it's gaming. Gaming has always been a separate thing. We play the games to have fun and adventures that we wouldn't have in real life. That makes perfect
yeah,
sense.
and I do like the fact it doesn't look like it's totally immersive, where
Mhm.
it's like AR rather than VR. So like the stuff I've seen is you still have like the field of vision, like the spatial awareness that you normally would have, and
Mhm.
then it's augmented by digital creation. So you can have like a 70-inch TV screen just as part of the the Apple Goon goggles, where it's like you could just bring a screen towards you and it looks similar to just like a big ass TV, and you still have like
I'll just buy a big ass TV.
yeah, big
I
ass TV
just
would be cheaper than $3,500 jack off glasses. Yeah.
Big ass TVs are going for $300 these days. So save your money. Just get the big ass TV.
Yeah, but look, when
Uh,
the podcast takes off, I'm getting the Goon goggles.
Well, good for you, honey bun. I mean, when the podcast takes off, I guess I'm getting a penthouse. I don't know. I guess I'll get something that makes more sense, something that I can build equity with.
Well, let's check
I
the
don't know.
numbers because it's been taking off lately.
Let's
If
check the
we if
numbers.
I pull up the studio app, we got. Oh, I lost a subscriber. Whatever.
Oh no, not a single subscriber.
just up,
Bye,
but
you broke bitch.
just
Now
on the
make them come back.
YouTube, one
Mhm.
thousand 159 subscribers.
What? They got that many people watching this shit?
Yeah, estimated. I don't get that many views per
All
video.
right.
It's
Well,
just
views and subscribers
yeah.
always.
Estimated revenue for the month 58
Mhm.
93.
At $58 and 93
Mm-hmm.
cents. Look at
And
you.
yeah, and the last video, I was surprised this got as much traction as it did. I uploaded me reacting to Red Bar reacting to Tom Segura on the YKW
Yes, I
podcast.
saw that.
That thing got like more views than usual. It's like got like almost 700 views right now, which is pretty good for my channel. So I was like, I can't
maybe
believe that many people tuned into this.
maybe it's because the title is so weird that it tricked the algorithm.
Yeah. Well, there's a
I
lot of
think
people
that's
who like Red Bar,
We're back.
and
I think so. But it's like the sometimes the algorithm gets fooled by certain combinations of words.
yes. But yeah, a lot of people tuned into that, and people were reaching out like, this is such a like an absurd but really funny idea. Reacting to who reacts to the reactor.
I mean, because you have to do something, right? Everything else has been done, so you
It's
have
just
to do something
content.
else.
Yeah, it's just
It's just
my
content
I
at this
hope what
point.
happens is he does a reaction to my video and then I do a
And
reaction to his reaction to my reaction.
and it's like you're staring into a mirror behind a
Mm-hmm.
mirror, you know what I'm saying? It just
Yeah.
goes for infinity and gets infinity money, baby.
Yeah, I'm trying to like engineer a sort of yeah, like recursive feedback loop between me and Red Bar where we're just like reacting to each other, reacting to
Reacting
each
to the
other.
reactions of the reactions of each
Yeah.
other's
Yeah,
reactions.
so it turns into sort of like a fun house, like House of
Yeah, it's like
Mirrors.
yeah, it's Inception, but for reactions.
Mm-hmm.
And
Re
nobody
re
knows where it begins. What was the first reaction? What are we even reacting to?
yeah,
Oh,
reactception.
there you go. I want that for you.
Mm-hmm. And then Dee Dee, I mean, you're on the network, so obviously a lot of big things happening. Probably gonna make some T-shirts,
I'll
some
show my
mugs.
titties once, maybe.
Show off them titties.
I'll show titties one time,
Show they
uh,
titties.
at the time and place of my choosing. Um, but you have to give me $3,000 first.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you're a broke bitch
Yeah.
to the subscribers out there.
How does my Islam beard look? My
Is that
Muslim
what we're
beard.
calling it? The Cat Stevens?
Yeah, because it just grows like that, and people keep asking me, "Did you convert to Islam?" I'm like, "I guess
Are
so."
you an ISIS?
I'm a
No,
black Israelite.
you just look like a broke Jack Black, just like any other white man would.
Yeah,
Just
I'm going for like the hobo in Hellraiser, the
mm,
the guy at the end of Hellraiser who was like the seemed like the one who was like really in control.
mm,
The mysterious hobo. That's kind of what I'm going for.
or just like any sidekick off of a 90s movie, like just the dude that has the weird one-liners and the weird proclivities and who is obviously oversexed or
Hmm.
undersexed.
Oh
That dude.
yeah, that's me. I'm
That dude.
undersexed and overporned. I'll tell you what. Oh,
Over porn.
I'm tired of being horny. This body is a prison.
No, you don't have
Um,
to be horny forever. There's a lady out there for you somewhere.
yeah, I'll be
You
horny
just
for
gotta
her.
you just gotta throw on the sauce. You
The only
gotta
person I want to be horny for is my betrothed.
what
Hmm.
VR babe? Is that see maybe that's what you need, a VR girlfriend or an AI girlfriend.
I'm trying. I reached out to Quinfinite. I'm trying to get her to come on the podcast. I'm
Is
in
she an
love.
AI girlfriend? What is a
No,
quinfinite?
she's an e girl who I'm in love with.
Oh,
We've interacted some on the internet. She was one of the first titty videos I did. I
quinfinite.
Yeah, I've been a big fan of hers for a while. She's one of these like OnlyFans girls. I'm in love with her. But we're fans of each other. Like every now and then she'll respond to something I do.
I mean, you're in love with her, but is she even real?
Yes, Quinfinite is real. I've seen her have sex
Oh no,
with a man and a
a
dildo
man
and another woman and just by
and a
herself.
dildo.
Yeah. And
I bet
she
she has.
has excellent jugs. Terrific jugs.
Well, she has a cute little face.
Yeah. Yeah.
Quinfinite.
Yeah, I DM'd her. I like sent a very polite DM.
I mean, did you holler at her? Did you like say, "Hey, what's up, girl? I'm trying to see what them titties do in real life."
Yeah, I sent her a DM, which is, more of the real me, not the exaggerated troll version of me that exists online. And I said, howdy. You and I
Howdy.
you and I have interacted some on the internet. Do you ever go on podcasts?
Hmm.
Would you come on my podcast? By that, I mean, I would like to have you as a guest on my podcast. Best Dalton. So, trying to get Quinfinite on the show. you know,
Well, I hope that works out. I'm just over here looking at the one that they call Quinfinite. I mean, she seems interesting.
I'm in love with her.
You're not in love with her. You're infatuated with her, or possibly unhealthily fixated on her.
Yeah.
You have to deal with that. Uh, but she seems cute. Just talk to her like a real person, for Christ's sakes. Just deal with her as though she's a human
I
being.
do talk. I did in the message, and I did comment on something she posted on Twitter today, where I said, "Pardon me, ma'am, but you have an all time set of tits."
That's is that what you tell? Is that how you talk to women, Dalton?
Yeah,
Is that how you holler at hoes?
yeah, but she responded. She said, "What did she say?"
She's
She
gonna
put,
respond to you as though you're a fanboy because you came at her with fanboy speak about her titties. You have to talk to her like a human, not just a pair of tits.
um,
You gotta finesse the pussy, man. You gotta finesse the pussy. You can't just come straight at it
what did she
like you
say?
carpet bombing it.
I think Quinfinite's probably out of my league.
Don't ever say that. See, you already lost. See that a poverty mindset? That's a poverty. You got a pussy
That's
poverty
true.
mindset.
I got a pussy poverty
You
mindset.
gotta get out of there, dog. You gotta get out of there.
What did she say? She said Dalton Pruitt approved. I'm a happy lady.
Oh, oh
Oh
goodness.
man.
Was she aware of your TikTok recs?
Yeah, I don't know if she remembers, but like she was one of the first ones I did, and she did respond to it at the time. She was like, "Oh yeah, I love this." So like, yeah, I mean, she's aware of me, and
Mm-hmm.
every now and then she'll like engage with something I post, and like I just one of her tweets came across my feed where it was like she had her hand over her nipples, and she was like, "Post." It was said something like "post penis suck bliss."
Oh wow.
So
Okay. Well, good for her.
I guess she had just got done sucking cock, and so I just
That is the implication.
yeah, yeah. She has a porn Twitter, so it's like a lot of full nude like pictures of her tits.
Well, sir, even though she's a porn star, you have to talk to her as though she isn't.
Oh, I want to. This is what we can end on. I want to get your reaction on this. Look up a Twitter account.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know what you think of these titties. Orc waifu, Gabby
Or
Z.
or waifu,
Yeah.
Gabby Z.
ORCWAI.
Oh wow, those some honking huge tits, man. Come on. Like they just invaded my eyes. They just like titties. Ah!
Dude, these are some of the biggest I've ever seen.
You remember back in the day, like what was that? That Dolby, that Max, Dolby Max, when the dude was like in the chair and they turned the speaker on and it just
Oh
blew.
yeah, like the Memorex
Well,
commercial
yeah,
where
the
it's like
Memorex. It was like, that's what her titties
dude,
just did to me. Like,
she
oh shit.
I follow her on TikTok and like her TikToks will pop up and I'm always like, Jesus Christ.
Bro, turn them titties down, bitch. They're loud as fuck.
Dude, there's some loud tits.
Those titties loud as hell, girl.
Oh man, she's
I mean,
got some
she's
of the
very cute. They look real.
they're very real, yeah.
They look like some real tits.
Sprawling veins and just
Yeah.
big fat jugs, dude.
But she's really cute. Wow, girl, you got some titties on you, bitch. Respect.
Yeah, she's got some
Congratulations,
big
girl.
heavy honkers.
Congratulations on those, sis.
This picture I'm looking, dude, these are cartoonishly huge
They really
tits.
are. They're anime titties. They're anime titties.
Yeah.
They're
um,
anime titties.
and she's like 32, 33 with like two kids.
Well,
I
good for
know.
you. And she gave suckle.
Oh man. I've seen some of her OnlyFans stuff. It's kind of nice, yeah. She's very good at sucking penis.
Everybody's sucking dick on the internet now. Like I wish I had it in me.
Sometimes I enjoy watching that more than vaginal penetration.
I wish I had it in me to
It,
just be sucking dick on the internet.
it's the submissive quality to it, where it's like, damn, bitch, you gonna put a man's penis in your mouth? You know?
I don't know. I mean, I've done it a lot in private, but I can't let people see me
Yeah,
do that.
yeah. No, yeah, you don't want people to see that, but
I can't let people see me slobbing on knob.
it's shocking that there's people who like will do that, who will suck a penis because it's like, damn, I wouldn't do that. That's like the
I
worst
mean,
thing I could.
as much as I've seen it in my life, like as much pornography as I've seen, yes, it is still very shocking that people are willing to do that on camera. Are you
Hmm.
aware of Sukiana? Are you?
Sukiana,
Yes.
Sukiana, these nuts.
But no, are you aware of Sukiana?
No, I don't know who this is.
Oh gosh, I gotta send you some Sukiana
Send me
stuff.
Sukiana. Yeah.
I mean,
I
she's
just
on
mean
X.
I just mean
She's
in general, like the idea of anyone sucking a person's penis. I'm like, yo, this is like for me. This is like the war. This is a bad day for me if I had to do this, and you're just
right. If
do.
I had to do this on camera, it just somebody has to see me slobbing on knob. Hell
Yeah,
no.
but even in private, it's like the times I've had my penis sucked. I'm like, yo, what you're doing right now for me would be like top five worst experiences of my life. I would not want to fucking do this.
I mean, I'm great. I'm great with doing it, but I don't want nobody to see me do it. Goddamn, like,
Yeah,
am I not a human? If you prick me, do I not bleed? Like, just don't.
yeah,
I'm a human being. I'm not just a dick sucking machine.
yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I've always felt like oral sex. It seems like much more invasive and intimate than sex. It's like that's such a like very giving, but also kind of submissive activity.
Mm.
That's why Italians think eating pussy's gay.
I don't want nobody seeing my booty hole, nothing like that. I just couldn't bear it. I just couldn't.
Oh
It's
yeah.
too. I can't be exposed like that. And people who can do that just as their job, like you sucking dick for a living, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
You sucking dick
I
for
don't
a
want
living.
yeah, I don't want nobody seeing my booty hole ever. And I will say
Licking balls and licking booty hole for a living. How do you do
it's kind of fun to look at a girl's booty hole for sure, but
it?
I don't I don't understand it when a woman is into it. Like when a woman wants stuff inside of her booty hole, I'm like, yo, that's crazy. That's
That's
wild.
insane.
Yeah, that's for gay
In your
dudes.
holes. No, come
That's
on.
that's for gay guys.
Is it for gay
You're
guys?
basically a homosexual man if you're
And what of it?
yeah.
And what of it? I will not be judged, just like I will not allow my LGBTQ allies to be judged for the same.
Yeah.
But I just can't do that in front of people. It's weird and gross.
Hmm. Yeah,
It's weird.
I had a girl once who like we I did some we did a little of that, some the butt stuff. Nothing.
Booty hole
I did
pleasures?
not put my penis in her butt, but
No.
what was happening, her reaction to what was happening was I was like, "You enjoy this much?" Because I know what this feels like, and it doesn't. For me, it does not elicit the same sounds that you're making.
But yeah, I just sent you a link on the Instagram. I'm surprised that you've never heard of Sukiana.
I might have. Yeah, let me see.
It's very it's she's alive.
Sukiyana. Suki
Sukihana.
Sukiyana my penis. Whoa. Whoa. Who is this? Suki with the good coochie. This this do-ragged gentleman is appears to be performing cunnilingus on
Well, no, it's the
what
audible. Like you have to hear it. Like hearing it is the part.
it
Like that's
looks like the female version of Crip Mac.
it's the hearing it. The ad libs that she kicks
Whoa.
is
Oh, that sounds very wet. Wait.
like her ad libs are crazy. It's but she's also a rapper. Like she has in her first rap video, like the one that really put her on a map. It's just too much. It's too much.
God damn. Damn, black people have very aggressive sex.
I'm sorry, I've never done that before in my life. I don't know about no other black folks, but that's a bridge too far.
She was calling the guy eating her pussy a hoe ass inward.
N-word. Yeah, the whole that's a bridge too far for me. Sorry. I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna degrade a black man who's eating my vagina
God
in
damn.
such a way. I would never. Okay.
So what is Sukiyana, I can't wait to watch more of that. So
Well,
that was
she's a
crazy.
rapper, and her rap videos that she came out with, like the very one of the very first ones I saw, quote unquote, broke the internet. Uh, because it's basically a porno. It was just like a giant lesbian gangbang with like black women of various shapes and sizes, and they were just like a beast with a billion backs, just huddled on top of each other, just
I am
scissoring and all kinds of
I'm a
other
big
stuff.
fan of black lesbians.
Man, well then Sukiana's your gal.
Yeah.
Uh,
I like that one porn star, Kira Noir. Although
Kira,
she got fake tits now. They're
yeah,
not
she does.
yeah, they're not natural perkies anymore. They're big
Mm,
old balloons, you know.
yeah, she's gonna
Um
float into outer
but
space. Good for her.
she nasty. She nasty.
I try not to learn their names, but Sukiana was on. I don't
Oh,
know
well,
if you've
there's
seen this, but she was on Love and Hip Hop.
Kira Noir, Anna Fox, Jada Fire, Tina
Oh, well,
Fire.
of course I know Jada Fire. She's OG.
Yeah.
Jada Fire, Pinky, Caramel,
Yeah,
Cherokee. Like those
Tina Fire's got some big old heavy hangers. Uh
Vanessa Blue. They're OGs though. Like I know the OGs. I don't know these new
Brittany
girls.
Brittany White.
Yeah, I don't know
Uh
these new girls.
Victoria Cakes. That's a big old girl.
Victoria. Victoria Cakes.
Victoria Cakes is a big old girl. Big old black girl.
With a name like Victoria Cakes, she better be.
Yeah.
Let's see, Victoria Cakes.
Yeah. Who's the other one? Um there's tons of black.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's a big bitch right
That's
there,
a big
Victoria Cakes.
bitch. That's a big
That's a big
bitch
one.
right there.
Victoria Cakes, my God.
Yeah, that's a big old bitch. um,
Wow.
yeah.
Hmm. Well, that's what's out there. Can't compete with that. It's just I'm just out here just giving, regular old.
I had to like hunt her down because there used to be this banner ad
Mm,
on Pornhub where it was her and Kinsey Reeves,
oh
and
my.
it was just that Kinsey Reeves is this like 80 pound little white girl, and it
Mm-mm.
was like Victoria Cake. The banner ad was just like a gif of Victoria Cakes like slamming her big fat ass into this little white woman's face. And I was like, I gotta see this video.
I
I
must
did,
find you.
yeah, I did like detective work. I'm like, who the fuck? I know Kinsey Reeves. Who the fuck is this big black lady with the fat ass? And I finally found. It was,
No.
I had to like really put in the work to find out who this was. Like, find that video. It was nice. It was a cool video.
It sounds horrific
Just
in my opinion.
Kinsey Reeves getting absolutely fucking dominated by this
It
bitch.
sounds it sounds like a nightmare in my
Hmm.
opinion. I don't want to be around a naked white woman ever in my life.
I
And
do. I
I
love naked
don't
white women.
I'm good on all that. I don't need it. I don't want to be around too many naked women, period. So I guess I can't be
I'm
exclusive.
sort of a reverse Robert De Niro. I like naked white women.
Did Robert De Niro just have a baby at his ripe old age of 83?
He had another light skinned baby. Yes.
Look at him. Well, good for you, Robert De Niro. Good for you, baby.
Have you ever seen those like photos of him with his like family? His
Yeah, well, he used to be with Tukey Smith, little cutie pie back in the day. That was the one wife I really liked. But yeah, he's had a slew of black girls. I
he's
don't
got like
know.
a
He just
whole like Thomas Jefferson
can't get
like
enough of them, man.
plantation of.
But that's them Italian dudes. They just like us a lot. Some of them
Hmm.
be trying to hide it, but they be on it. It's weird.
Hmm.
It's weird and it's gross a little bit. I don't understand it, but it is what it is. As long as he's paying bills, girl. And Bobby De Niro is a cute. That's a cute old white man. Like he's
Yeah,
always been
he's
a hottie.
one of the hottest men in Hollywood.
That's what I'm saying. He's always been a hottie. So you can't really do much better than that girl. Like
Hmm.
even as an old man, he's still a cutie pie. So I'm not mad at it. I would have gave him a baby. Not really. I'm not having anyone's
If
child.
you want
But
to, Didi, if you want to make some money, you should have unprotected sex with Robert De Niro.
I mean, is that the way I have to do it? That's
And
not how I want
yeah,
to get my money.
if you bear the child of De Niro, you're set
I'm
for
not.
life.
I'm not trying to get my money on my back. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to do that. I could have done that a long time ago if that was my goal. That's not the way for me. I ain't
All right.
knocking the girls who do it. I'm pro sex worker, but not me, girl.
Yeah, not sex worker. I mean, like actually have his
Oh,
child.
just be
So
a whore.
yeah, have a kid with the guy. So that way
No, I'm not anybody's baby.
he has to put you in the will. At that
Those
point.
stakes are too high. Have a baby, something I have to take care of. I got to get a
You
responsibility.
don't have to take care of it. It's Robert De Niro's baby. There's like a team of people that are going to take care of this baby.
Still, like I have to push life out of my body.
Nope, they
No.
got all the Hollywood science to extract this baby from you.
Oh, so they teleport it? They teleport it
Yeah,
out
they
of my
got they
body?
got like Hogwarts magic that they do or whatever.
They have the Star Trek technology. They can
Yeah.
just beam it out.
How are these fucking bitches in Hollywood have a baby and still have like flat stomachs and shit like that?
Ozempic
Ozempic, yeah.
and Wegovy and
Um,
tummy tucks and invasive procedures.
yep.
That's how.
But
And I'm not doing any of them. But I guess that's a good place to end it.
that's a good point. Yeah,
Deanna's
we
not
said
happy.
we were going to try and keep it at 2 hours, and we've done almost three. But anyway,
Damn it. I thought we were doing good. But anyway, goddamn it.
goddamn. Anyway, folks, this has been. I never even announced the show, but who cares?
Double D's. You didn't. You just went right in.
It'll be in the title. Double D's with DDT and Dalton. Big old titties. Double D's.
Yeah.
Only on the Billionaire Podcast Network. Ka-ching, bing, 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 did the filler up. Go to the Patreon. Patreon.com/cornfed with Dalton Perez. Really get
Give us
access.
58 more of your dollars, you
I mean,
broke
honestly,
bitch.
at this point, this is the Patreon because I'm gonna like chop this in half. So whatever. It'll be in the show
Mm-hmm.
description. Anyway, thank you, Dee Dee. I love you.
Mm-hmm.
Audience, I love you. And end.